Hey everyone, it's Jock and Nerd Weekly back on the Blab live show. First for the new year, 2016. Let's do this.
It's the Jock and Nerd Podcast with your hosts, Anthony and Imran.
Jock and Nerd, welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, everyone. We're live to Blab. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And I'm excited to be back on Blab in 2016. We have 4 full windows I'm looking at. In window number 3, everyone. You know him. You love him. Mr. Rugberto Bambino, also known as Rug Boy.
That's me.
Hey, what's up, Rugs? And right next to Rugs, window number 4, behind window number 4, is scenic painter by day, Godzilla artist by night, and a Blab virgin.
Oh, shit.
We popped his Blab cherry, Mr. John Bellotti Jr. Johnny, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to have you on here, and I'm glad that we ruined your life in that we made him create a Twitter account. He's an egg. And then not only that, we're like, I'm going to throw you on Blab in front of the hordes of freaks that like to hang out on Blab. Yahoo!
Were you just like dancing over there, man? You were like...
It's a double win for me. Let me tell you, anytime I could get any Blab podcast cherries popped, I'm all in, people. So thanks for joining us on the Blab. If you could click that little tell a little bird tweet button if you're watching us
right now.
Right now, there's nobody in here, but here's the agenda. Usually we do these Jock and Nerd Weeklies and we talk about the week's TV shows. Now, the shows are not back, but I couldn't wait. There's so much geek news that came out and I missed the Blabus. I wanted to jump back here. So this is going to be our news roundup. We got geek news. We got Godzilla news. We'll do this. We'll close it up. We'll open the post show, maybe geek out about Star Wars, see what people think. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a good time. What do you say, guys?
Okay, let's do this.
Well, before we begin, though, John, I wanted the listener to know, John Bellotti is most widely known from Jock and Nerd episode 28 and episode 62. So check those out. Now, Anthony, you were always poo-pooing the Blab, weren't you? You're like, this isn't going to go anywhere. And I'm like, this Blab's going to be big. Who's on the Blab earlier?
UFC President Dana White was on the Blab at
yeah, dude.
5 Eastern, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, right?
So he's using Blab now.
Right.
He did a little fan interaction Q&A thing with fans. So I don't know how it went. I didn't get to watch because we were at work. But
it's how awesome is that? Like once more celebrities and more big name people jump on this thing and you can talk to them. And it's great. He's always trying new things. I was very excited to hear that. So Dana White was on Blab earlier. Also next week, before I forget, next Wednesday is Podcast Fan Appreciation Day on Blab. We will be there as well. Subscribe to that. All the links are on Blab page. And one last thing, Jim Brewer favorited one of our tweets on Twitter, and it made me very happy.
That's right.
Did you see that, Ruggs? It was the Scott Weinstein show.
That's absolutely. It was the SNL show that we did with Scott Weinstein.
That gave me a huge boner because I fucking love Jim Brewer. He's hilarious.
He's Goat Boy.
Yeah, he's Goat Boy. So Jim Brewer.
Rug Boy loves Goat Boy.
Rug Boy, Goat Boy together. He loves, he favorited it. That's checking that off my bucket list.
I think Goat Boy would eat me, though.
Goat Boy.
Stuff.
Goat Boy would eat you up. All right, gang. We got a lot of news here, and that's why John Bellotti's here, because we're going to start out with Kaiju news. Let me play a little sweeper. We're going to get into it.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Now, listener, if you've been listening to the show, you know that we're Godzilla fans. Ruggs is a Godzilla fan. Anthony's a Godzilla fan. And John Bellotti Jr. is a Godzilla artist with awesome artwork. Check his stuff out at robo7.com. What's the big news? Who wants to break this?
I'll let John do it.
No, I want Tony speaks so well about Godzilla. I think Tony should break it.
All right, Anthony, we're throwing quarterback this shit.
All right, so there was some leaked images on Twitter or Instagram, I believe, of Godzilla, specifically 4 images from the new Toho movie Godzilla Resurgence. And it's more detailed look at what his new costume is going to look like. And it looks a little burnt, right, guys? What do you guys think?
We call it Baconzilla. That's what we're calling it.
Baconzilla.
The extra crispy Godzilla.
There was that came out, as well as the fact that there was rumors that this is one of maybe 3 forms that he will have throughout the movie.
But I heard that was also debunked. That was a Devin Faraci article.
That was a Devin. Yeah, I saw that on Devin Faraci.
And then this dude on Sci-Fi, I think it's Sci-Fi or some guy that actually has all the scoops. He's like, I don't know why.
That's August Ragone.
Okay, that guy, right? So he's like, I don't know why. They said 3. Maybe they misunderstood what I said. What's the deal? There's not 3.
Yeah, what's the deal?
No, there's only going to be one form from what August is reporting. The 3 forms came from him reporting that the photos that leaked were of the giant puppet that they're using. And it takes 3 guys to operate the puppet. So what he thinks is that people just said, oh, there's 3 guys that are using this puppet, turned into 3 forms of Godzilla.
But he also said, well,
what?
I feel hear an echo.
Oh, there's a little echo, yeah.
But he also said that at some point that this is not his final form in the article. He said those exact words. So that would lead to conjecture.
So who is this dude? What's his name? August
Ragone. He's a very popular sci-fi writer. He works for Shout Factory, and he wrote a book on Eiji Tsuburaya, the guy that was behind all of the special effects of the Godzilla movies of the 50s and 60s. And a great guy. And I'm sorry?
And Ultraman.
An Ultraman, yes. Of course. Yeah, created Ultraman. Yeah, of course.
So this guy's a legit source.
Yes, very legit. He's the only guy I trust. He's really the only guy that I know of that I actually trust when it comes to news about Godzilla and Ultraman and all things Japanese. So he's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy.
In the past shows, when the first images came out, we have given our opinion. I don't know if you heard that about this burnt, crispy, googly-eyed, fucked up teeth-looking Godzilla, and I'm dying to know your thoughts on this design.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the original. If you ever read about the original '54 Godzilla movie. Ishiro Honda, the guy that directed the movie, he wanted Godzilla to look like that. And in fact, he wanted the Godzilla suit to have a mushroom cloud-shaped head. And his original idea was to have Godzilla all burnt and scarred, so it looks like he's an actual victim of a nuclear bomb. And honestly, I'm all behind this suit. I'm all behind the look. I'm all behind the story because I'm so bored with the Godzilla movies that came out, like especially the Millennium series, which like the Heisei series were pretty good because it was like a nice remake of the old movies. And then once the Millennium series came out, after GMK, it became so boring. Even the new Godzilla movie is kind of boring, the Legendary movie. So this is just something different. This is something that needs to happen to Godzilla. They need to break the mold, do something completely different, really bring Godzilla back to his nightmare roots. So I'm all for it. I'm all about it.
It's paying homage to the 54 Godzilla.
Yes, it's almost I want to say a remake, and they're saying it's the same monster as the 54 version, but again, that's not 100% true. So who knows? Who knows?
We really don't have any idea exactly what the story is. If it's the continuation of 54 Godzilla, or if it's the same, if it's after that they tried to use the oxygen destroyer on it,
right,
or whatever. So we don't know exactly what state that we're seeing Godzilla in, but in canon, there is the original movie, of course, but then beyond the original movie is the body of work that is now that has caught the consciousness of the people that all these people rally around. Everybody's got their version of Godzilla that they like. And I feel like abandoning and throwing all those other people, all those other fans of other movies out the window is a little bit divisive.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about this today. Like, what is my opinion on all this? And can you imagine being a fan of Godzilla movies in the 50s and 60s and the original Mothra vs. Godzilla where Godzilla had the hooded eyebrows and he looked menacing and he was a total villain. And then fast forward, like, was it 3 years later to Son of Godzilla, and he's friendly and he's a father and he's like a nice monster. And can you imagine being a fan back then and seeing Godzilla go through such a drastic change? And in every movie, Godzilla looks completely different, which is even more jarring to the average viewer. So, I mean, then there was the superhero Godzilla movies of the 70s where he's like a good guy and little kids love him. So Godzilla's always been changing and evolving. I think after the Heisei series of the 90s, I think he just got kind of stagnant. And then when GMK was released and it changed a lot, it changed his origin, people sort of freaked out a little bit and wanted to go back to the way it was. And I mean, the nature of life and movies and creativity is always changing. You have to keep changing. So,
hey, Do Right's in the house and Sloshy. What's up, guys? For you guys, would you compare this to the last Toho Godzilla design? How does it stack up? Better, worse? And what was the last?
What was the last one?
Was
It's
Final
different.
Wars.
Yeah, it's
Final
different.
Wars.
Final Wars. He looked kind of like a rat.
Yeah,
oh, that was the rat. Yeah, I remember
like
that.
a rat face or a duck face.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he had all of the initial Godzilla trademarks.
Right.
Right.
Every down to like the teeth, the pointed ears, and the bony the spines on his back with that maple leaf pattern.
Yeah.
The 3 rows. Everything else was very, very close. It's just that face was not there.
No.
Ruggs,
but-
are you disappointed that this is the final and there aren't 3 suits? And
Yeah, I have nothing but disdain for this suit.
Rug Boy
and
does
I'm
not
hoping-
like this Godzilla.
I'm hoping that that the movie, like, you never know when you see something that out of context, it might not look so great, and you never know.
That's
In the
true.
movie, it might redeem itself. But I also saw Attack on Titan, and I wasn't really impressed with that movie by any means at all. If you hated Final Wars, like Attack on Titan is worse than Final Wars in head, like, head over heels worse than Final Wars as a movie. It's completely like a joke in a lot of ways. So I don't know. I'm not really have a lot of faith. I mean, it looks good. Like the tone of it is good. There's good scenery to it, but it's just such a wacky movie.
For me,
So-
this design, though, as like not as a hardcore Godzilla fan, just kind of looking at these new shots, like he definitely does look fucking freaky and creepy. I kind of like seeing the muscle structure underneath and the rawness of it. But I agree with you guys. He needs some fucking eyelids because it looks goofy.
Well, they're burnt off. That's what I read about it. His eyelids are
Oh.
burnt off, which I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's like Two-Face.
Yeah.
He looks
but,
like Two-Face
he's all-
Godzilla.
he's one face.
I mentioned
The
that
one
back in the
face, yeah.
first time that we saw it.
Say that again, Rogue Boy?
He said he
Oh,
mentioned
when we first talked about this on the air, I said, like, basically my opinion of it is that they took 54 Godzilla and burnt off all of his extremities.
Yeah,
So
pretty
they
much.
burnt the ears off, they burnt the eyelids off, they burnt the lips off, and he's got these big gashes and keloid scars all over his body.
Yeah,
Which is fine, but I don't understand the need for the goofy teeth on top of that.
The teeth are all jacked.
And but like, whatever. I'm like, as I said, I said my piece about it. I don't like it. I don't like the long neck, the big swan neck. He's got a really ridiculously long neck.
it's
on
pretty
this.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it just, there's things that I don't know how it's gonna look like suit wise. I remember when GMK came out, and I loved the shape of the suit, but when I actually saw it on the suit actor,
Yeah.
it looked weird. You could see the guy's head poking through his neck a little bit. It was
no.
a weird hump, and he had a big gut, and
Yeah,
it just
he had a
didn't look
huge
right.
gut.
It was off.
Yeah.
It was off balance.
I
Let
like
me-
The head on that model is amazing. On that
Let
one.
me interject on what I thought about this suit. So obviously we've kind of talked about the face before on the air, and I still have the same problems like Rug Boy with the teeth and the eyes. To me, it looks goofy. I am willing to concede that the burn victim thing is a cool idea. I don't know if it's executed that well, but we're looking at still images, and I'm willing to give it a chance on film because the way they film it might make it look better, in my opinion. The only thing that I really don't like is his arms look really skinny. Like,
yeah, because they gave him such a long neck that it makes the
Right.
arms diminutive
Well,
by
even
proportion.
even if you look at his wrists, though, like there's the third image that we
Oh
linked,
yeah.
where
Yeah.
his wrists are like maybe 2 inches in diameter. Like they look really skinny compared to the rest of his body. And I get that maybe his like muscles burnt off, but it makes him look sort of like T-Rex. It just looks goofy to me. It looks like they put a different arm on his body because the rest of his body is really muscular still, but then his arm is like really skinny.
It's like a little kid's hand attached
Yeah.
to like a big bodybuilder.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's getting me a little bit. I overall, my initial thoughts when Imran showed this to me is I didn't like it, but I'm willing to concede that being a burn victim Godzilla is different and cool, and they're trying something, and it could look good on film. Maybe
we got to see what the movie is. I mean, that's at the end of the day, if the movie's great, we're going to end up, kind of being romanced by it, in some fashion.
If it does, like John, like you said, if it does take the horrific, tragic, monster look, and it sounds like that's what they're going back to.
Yeah,
that sounds cool. Like I would watch that.
It's the total nightmare, total nightmare Godzilla. He's raging against humanity. That's the story they're going with. I mean, and that's fine. I
love that story.
That's a great story, and I this is what I keep telling people. Do you remember when they cast Heath Ledger as the Joker, and everybody people broke the internet, and he won an Oscar and it was amazing? I mean, just give it a chance. Like, I just want to see it in action before I make a judgment. I mean when I look at a set that we paint under work lights, it looks horrible, but when you see it on the show, it looks unbelievable. So you just gotta like Rug Boy said, just wait for the movie to come out and we'll see how it looks in action. And if it looks like shit, then guess what? We'll be on the show saying it looked like shit and it should burn in hell and they all should die, and then it'll be a great show.
But that's the thing, John. Now this is the thing that I keep hearing an echo.
I know, I do too. Where's that?
I don't know where it's coming from.
Occasionally it comes and then it stops.
All right, let me just try something. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna put my volume down. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so you watched Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You're gonna keep me up all night now.
Did you see it? But yeah, you did see it. Okay,
I saw it. Yeah.
So you have opinions about that are very negative.
Very negative.
And I'm with you on a lot of those. By the way, those opinions.
I listened. Look, I listened to the podcast, and everybody said everything that I've had a problem with the movie. Everything was said in that podcast.
But we're not really close to Star Wars. We're removed. We're fans. I think that there's this feeling, especially among Godzilla fans, and especially people like August, who are very close to the source material, who know these people, who are friends with these people. That's how he gets his scoops.
Okay.
I think that they try and sway the people from
hating
having an opinion about what the Japanese are doing. Like, everything the Japanese are doing are held in high regard. But we criticize Lucas, we criticize Steven Spielberg, we criticize the biggest geniuses of our time here. But we can't criticize these guys just because they made a Godzilla movie and we're supposed to revere Toho. No, I think we should hold them to a high standard, just like Star Wars.
Wait, so you think August is he's trying to damage control this?
I know. I don't. I think that he's got these inside sources, and he doesn't want to burn any bridges. So he's not going to play it that way. He's not going to play it that way that he's going to just shit on it. I mean, that's for us to do, So I don't have any ties to the Godzilla world. So I could say what the fuck I want and not worry about repercussions. And that's why it's great to be a Rug Boy.
Well, there's more than that. Just being great to be a Rug Boy, but.
I'm just saying, sometimes I think people are too close to it in fandom, and they can't really say, they have to kind of damage control it a little bit.
Hand in your slack hole is another great reason.
We can only judge what we've seen so far, and we can't make proclamations on the movie just of what we've seen so far, but we can judge the pictures we've seen so far.
Hey, Bad Flick could be great, and fucking Godzilla could be great. We don't know yet.
We don't know until we see it.
We don't know.
It's coming out this summer, right? July 2016.
Yeah, July. Yeah.
Donnie, what'd you think of the trailer? I mean, it was very short and whatnot.
It's just people running.
John, what'd you think? What would you, so let me ask you this, as a Godzilla artist and a lifelong, and all the different versions, what would you change on this design if you were in charge? Well, today I was like, okay, I'm handing this over to you. Would you change anything?
I mean, definitely the arms, I got to agree with Tony. But at the same time, they're going for the 54 look. So I don't know. I don't know what I would change. It still looks a little cartoony. And if it's going for a realistic look, it's going to be hard to pull that off. So at the same time, it's a Japanese Godzilla movie, so they're going to make it however they want to make it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know what I would change. I mean, it is what it is, so to speak. But I probably would change the arms and the eyes. Those are the only two things. The eyes bug the hell out of me.
They should have just left them without any corneas.
Yeah,
just the whites of the eyes. That would have been, if they could do that in post and fix that, that probably would help a lot.
You mean just a pupil then?
They did that with GMK.
They did that, yeah.
And it worked.
That would make it more menacing looking, probably.
Yeah.
I believe.
because I don't think those eyes are going to do anything that are going to be that expressive. They look like someone's just shoved the finger up Godzilla's slack hole.
He's like, woo! He looks like this. Woo! He looks like he's got a big line. Like it did a lot, big line of blow. Yeah. He's cracked out, dude. Godzilla is cracked out, and as well he should. They burned him up. All right, well, we got a couple of months, and you'll see. I'm sure there's going to be another trailer probably and more pictures as we get closer to July.
When do you think we're going to see a trailer, John? Like a revised trailer with actual Godzilla footage in it?
I'd probably say springtime, I think, because they're still shooting it. They're doing reshoots right now in Japan.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a villain, or is it going to be, or not a villain, but another monster for him to fight?
I don't think so.
Really?
The tagline out of Japan was Godzilla versus Japan, so I think they're going for a full-on 54 redo.
Oh wow!
So I think the enemy is going to be
Super
Japan.
X or something like that.
Super X? No, I don't think they're going to go the futuristic mech warfare look. I think they're going to go for a very realistic, almost Cloverfield kind of feel to the story.
Oh, weird.
Okay.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
It seems like they've also caught the reboot bug that Hollywood is currently suffering from.
Well, but Godzilla's always been rebooted.
Godzilla,
though.
that's
okay.
He's always been. He's a James Bond.
He's been rebooted so many times.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
Right on. John, you painted any for guys that don't know in the blab and the listener, John is a scenic painter for TV shows, which is awesome. You got any look, he's wearing his painted shirt right from work.
I haven't gotten changed. I've been home for like 4 hours. I'm still wearing my paint.
Smelly. What were you painting? Anything you can share? I know you're in the industry, you can't reveal. You got any what would you paint something cool?
Yes, it's a hit NBC TV show that's actually on tonight at 10, I think, so everybody should go watch it.
Thursday, January 7th is what he's talking about for podcast listeners.
Thank you, Tony.
Yep.
Something cool. Well, we're painting a well, a big well that's actually going.
You could say the name of the show.
Is it The Blacklist?
I didn't say it. You said that name.
It might be. Jock and Nerd.
I just took a shot in the dark.
That's a huge show, man. It's got
I'm taking shit in the dark too.
Well, now that you said the name, I can't say what I painted or what the story was. I don't want to get fired. I like my job. But
damn it.
I will say this, that it's going to be morbid and disturbing, and it's going to involve someone you didn't expect being killed.
Do you watch the show?
Not really. I don't have time. I just never get a chance to watch it. I watch him film it. That's about it.
I'm curious if you watch the show and you're like, I could have painted that a different shade, or that didn't really work, or
you don't even honestly you don't see it. See the way our heads look? That's how you see the show. It's all close-ups. You don't really see a lot of what we do, unfortunately.
What the fuck are you painting? What's the point then?
Hey,
a paycheck, a weekly paycheck.
I want a shot on just a floor and a cupboard, just so I could see John Pilati's work. That's all.
Well, you know what it is? You give them options. You paint this giant set, and you give them options to move around. And honestly, you do see most of our work. You see it just very dark.
It's like the whole background is your work, really, wherever the camera cuts to. That's cool, dude. I would just geek out all the time if I saw my fucking work on TV. Like,
we'd be endless, Imran. We'd be showing you pictures of fucking
look at this. Look at this.
Look at this chair.
Look at this. This is awesome.
All right. Legs on this thing.
Anything else on Godzilla? Any other thoughts?
I have one more thing. I want to leave John Bellotti with one thought.
Okay.
He's the one man that can correct me.
Okay.
Because I know Anthony can't. Okay. Now, if we go back to 1954 Godzilla,
right?
All right. I watched Gojira. I watched the Japanese one, and I remember it pretty well. And what they said was that Godzilla was an amphibious sea monster that the fishermen used to pray to, and then that the hydrogen bombs woke him up. They never fried him with the bombs. The only time that Godzilla got fried up was from the oxygen destroyer. So, if that's the case, would Godzilla be burnt and have keloid scars a la a nuclear? The oxygen destroyer is not nuclear. It destroys all the oxygen. So that I feel like the whole theory that they're hanging this thing on is completely erroneous if you're sticking to Godzilla 1954.
Oh, you're saying if this is like a continuation from the movie, it doesn't make sense. But if it's a completely new story, if it's basically a remake of the original, then it could work because maybe he was a dinosaur on an island and they
Yes.
bombed the island, and he became irradiated and blown up and shredded, and then it works. But no, I agree with what you're saying.
I get confused when people keep saying like, "Oh, we're doing an homage. We're doing we're doing what the 54 movie was supposed to do, and we're going to remake that 54 movie." Well, they're rebooting it in a way where they're actually changing the story.
Well,
so that's why a lot of people get confused by this whole theory, I think.
That's the thing. It's just everybody's speculating because Soho for the first time is going the Hollywood route and not giving anybody information, which is great because this is what Hollywood does, and they get people interested in talking about a movie a year before it comes out. So Toho's doing it, and you know what? The pictures leaked, which I don't think they were leaked by accident. I think they leaked them on purpose because they do that over here to look like, oh my God, they were leaked, and it gets people talking, and it was trending on the was it Huffington Post? It was like trending.
Yeah, it was a big everywhere. Story.
Yeah. So it was good publicity for them, 6 or 7 months before the movie came out.
But is it bad publicity that like a lot of people hate this shit?
No, it just gets people talking. I mean, everybody hated on Heath Ledger, and they ended up like kissing his ass up when they left the theater. So people are going to go to this thing. Remember that in Manhattan or New York they had that art show that Giuliani banned. I can't remember what it was.
Was that the Piss Christ?
Yes, Piss Christ, the Virgin Mary covered in like horse shit or something.
Or something. Yeah, I remember that. I think I was in New York when that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, and it got all this bad press. Everyone, it's disgusting, and Giuliani tried to ban it, and it became like the biggest show that museum ever had. The line was out the door. Millions of tickets were sold. So it'll get people going to see this thing.
So if this is a planted leak, then it's very smart. Because in a lot of these articles, I see this tweet from that Cooper guy who doesn't have a lot of followers. And I'm like, how the fuck did this guy get these photos? I keep seeing at Cooper Castile is like the tweet they embed. So it's very weird how these things got out.
Yeah.
Well, they were leaked.
Yeah, I think it's all planned. I think it's all.
I just don't wonder if they thought that they were gonna get so many people, because I've read all the comments, I've read every comment. All right.
Yeah.
And there's maybe 4 guys that always defend it, but then there's 60,000 guys that are like, this sucks. So it's I wonder what they're thinking over there at Toho.
What about John? What about your Godzilla buddies? What's the word from them? Do they seem to like it?
It's 60-40. I want 60 are for it and 40 are against it.
Ooh.
Okay, I feel but you know what? The people that hate it really do hate it. It's definitely. Actually, I'm willing to give 60-40. I'll give it 50-50. I'm getting a vibe that it's 50-50. Some people are like, let's see what it looks like. Other people are like, nope, it's not working. It sucks.
Well, listen, this is just good for the franchise in this day and age when there's so much shit. For this to rise to the top and be trending, it's good for Godzilla and good for Godzilla fans.
I have one more statement.
Okay,
sure.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, Imran.
It's okay. He does it all the time.
Yeah. I know that this is the thing that nobody wants to hear. Okay, but Godzilla 2014 was highly successful monetarily. It had a lot of eyeballs on it. It's probably the most watched Godzilla movie ever. Yeah. Okay. More than 1954, the worldwide market, 2014 Godzilla is the Godzilla that everybody has seen. Right. Now, for Toho to do an about face and go 4 steps away from that, or a million steps away from that design and anything that's established in that, I think it's kind of yes, giving the finger to the U.S., but at the same time, I think it's very poor marketing. I think they could have capitalized on it and kind of bridged the gap that would have brought more fans to the Japanese stuff.
Maybe they just didn't want to do the same shit again, though.
They did that already, though, with the 98 movie. When they said, we're going to... Remember 98 came out in America, and everybody was shitting on it, and Toho was like, oh my God, this movie was horrible. We got to bring dignity back to Godzilla. And then they made Godzilla 2000, and he looked green, and he had the fins, and he had the flame breath again. And it was like, okay. And then it kind of just got redundant after a while. So now they're like, we're going to go a complete different route. That's why I'm all for it. Just give us something different for once.
Well, for reference, I'm sorry, I just want to quickly reference. Domestically, the recent Godzilla made $200 million, and plus foreign money, it made over almost $530 million worldwide. So it was a huge success. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I just think that in Japan, especially with the even the Ultraman shows that I watch, a lot of the newer ones, they sort of get into this rut of telling the same story over and over and over. And a lot of times it's almost like they're scared to step out of the box. But Japan, in the last year or so, especially with their new prime minister, has been making an effort to show the world what Japan is made of. I heard they're even licensing other famous movie characters besides Godzilla out to whatever studio wants to license them. So if they want to make a Zatoichi movie, The Blind Swordsman, they can make one over here. They can license these characters. So I think they're trying to sort of step out of the box that they've all been in and trying to make something different. And that's why I'm all for it, because they need to shake things up over there in terms of movies and storytelling of their mythological characters that they have. It's kind of like making Superman. It's like this, even Man of Steel, like that wasn't my favorite Superman movie, but they're trying to do something different with it.
Version. So Toho wasn't involved in the legendary Godzilla at all, like design or
just consulting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree with Rugboy. Like that Godzilla movie, it's like it's bringing in new fans to Godzilla, and it's again, it's showing it to a new generation, and it's just good for everyone. And I kind of like that they're doing something different. Like the more I hear John talk about this burnt Godzilla, I'm a little more interested now.
The thing is, I had something I wanted to say and I forgot it. That's why I just talk over people, because I'll forget it.
Fell out his slack hole. There was that one piece of cotton that fell out, had your thought in there.
Damn you!
Whatever. Let's move on to the next bit I have, and this came out a while ago. We didn't get to talk about it, and I really wanted to talk about it. It's the images of Benedict Cumberbatch as the awesome Marvel's Doctor Strange.
God. Amazing. The best casting I think they've ever done in any superhero movie besides Christopher Reeve.
Dude, these photos there, I'm going to put this link, and there'll be images in the show notes. Here's the link for the pictures. He looks fucking awesome.
Amazing.
It's dead on Strange. I hope they sell that cape. I want that fucking cape. It looks awesome. And just the way he's working his powers, he looks exactly like him. That one shot, where the blue shot, where it's all trippy and it's like almost like an Avatar looking cosmic verse. I love that. I hope this movie is really weird and out there. They're saying the movie is going to be weird and out there. And it looks great. I couldn't be happier. John, did you see the concept in the second link for the Sanctum Sanctorum, the concept art of Inside? As a scenic artist, I thought you might be interested. Again, it looks awesome. It feels a lot like the Thor Asgard from Thor. Great attention to detail.
Yeah, we were actually. I showed it to some of my coworkers yesterday. I was looking at that set, and I was like, how did they even make that? I mean, did they cut it out with a CNC router? I mean, I don't even know how they did that, but God bless them, because the set looks amazing.
That intricate, like the circle.
They just 3D print everything now.
Oh, they probably 3D print.
No, you got to keep the unions employed. It's probably all made out of wood and plaster. Trust me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or the ornamental work, in front of the window, is probably fabricated somewhere, but everything else is going to be wood on that set, wood and plaster. I guarantee it.
See, Bilatti's got the inside, man. He knows that shit. That's awesome.
That's right, baby.
I love. They talk about in this article about the spell casting gestures, which to me in Age of Ultron was very important, and like Elizabeth Olsen pulled that off. It's very hard to pull off, but she made it look cool without looking stupid. And he looks awesome pushing this energy or whatever the fuck this is. But the mystic arts, this makes me more excited for this movie that is coming out in November.
I will rain on your parade a little bit, Imran.
All right.
You're seeing just one image. You have to see it in motion.
Anything
in image can look cool.
Yeah, because that could. I mean, I know that's all photoshopped and heavily processed.
I don't know. I'm trusting Marvel that it'll look good, but I wouldn't say that looks great. It's going to look awesome on film.
I mean, Marvel hasn't really fucked this up yet. Their costume is on point as usual.
The costume is good. Benedict Cumberbatch was I think I've read the online consensus that he's a good casting choice. He's a safe casting choice. Everyone was kind of rooting for Joaquin Phoenix just because that had been so out there.
I wouldn't want to see Joaquin.
A lot of people were rooting for that just because it would have been a left field choice, something a little different. But Benedict Cumberbatch is a safe choice, and I'm fully on board with that.
I'm down with the Cumberbatch.
That Cumberbitch is great. This movie's coming out in November 2016, and I think they also announced Mads Mikkelsen, the guy who plays Hannibal. He's going to be a bad guy, but they don't know who it is. And
that guy just looks evil.
Yeah, he that's going to be a great showdown. I think Mordo or something. Baron Mordo's in this, and Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, which is a nice casting. She's an amazing actress, and the Ancient One could be a woman. Why not? Who cares? It doesn't matter. You just got to be a magical, mystical power. No, it's in good hands.
I'm excited. Marvel's good with
Scott Derrickson.
I'm most excited because of the director. It's a horror film director, a horror film director. So I'm glad. I'm wanting to see what kind of spin he's going to put on a Marvel film.
So this will be like,
yeah. Go ahead.
How many films did that guy actually direct? Was it just Sinister? Is that the only thing he's ever done?
He also did The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah,
which I heard that was a pretty good movie.
I just get worried because there's this trend in Hollywood now where like a guy will make like a $50,000 movie, and then they give him the keys to make like a $90 or $250 million movie, and then you get a Josh Trank who bombs and plays out. And even Josh Whedon. I mean, Josh Whedon. I mean, he came from TV, and then he got like this $1 billion franchise, and he got burnt out by the second movie. So I just kind of worry that they don't nurture directors as much as they used to, and they don't. I mean, they certainly don't nurture musicians anymore. But it's just we might never have like a Spielberg or a Lucas or even a Scorsese anymore, because now they're just plucking guys and making these giant films, and you're not getting those middle budget films like Fight Club or Taxi Driver or any of those movies. So that's my
just like music, though. You're right. They don't develop artists. They want a package.
Pretty much. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. It's just I get concerned. with my movies.
No, but I'm excited. Yeah, he's it's gonna be their horror genre of horror mysticism genre. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's apropos.
It's gonna be amazing. You know what? Ant-Man was amazing. We watched it last week and it was amazing. And I was like, I don't know why this. I mean, my brother didn't like it, and I was like, oh, maybe it sucks. We watched it and it was great. It was so different. It was like unlike anything I've seen from Marvel.
I feel like Marvel has a really good system in place, a good support structure in place where they're able to pluck these directors that might not have a ton of experience directing huge budget films, but they can put them in their machine and it just works.
But I also think they do that because they want people without egos, really.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like Josh Trank blew up in their face.
That's why that didn't work.
But that was
control. They want somebody they can control. Like a guy who has no experience with any major money is going to be like, okay, whatever, I'll make it.
No, I get that too, and I agree 100%. I think it's a combination of a few things, and that's definitely one of the biggest things. I mean, look at Edgar Wright. He is his own man. He's not going to fall in line with Marvel, and he waited too long.
Yeah, but he did the smart thing and step out. This is what I like what Marvel's doing, because they're developing these directors in the Marvel style of movies, similar to how back in the 60s when Marvel started, they were developing these artists in the Marvel style of comic books, so that would be kind of coherent, and it would and everyone has their own style. But maybe the pacing is the same. So that's a great idea.
Let me jump in again, Imran, and I'm going to jump to one of your points that you have on your news, because it only makes sense to follow this up with when we're talking about directors in Marvel. Okay. So you guys noticed Ryan Coogler is now directing Black Panther.
Yes,
and
I love that.
Yes, and he's got a very logical progression to doing it too, in terms of jumping up to this rank. So he did Fruitvale Station, which is a lower budget film. Creed is like a $50 million film, which is done really well, and now he's jumping up to the big leagues in terms of budgets, with probably $100+ million film. But I feel like he's taking the necessary steps.
Good step up, yeah.
He's doing the more of the jumping up from one step to a bigger step to now a bigger step in terms of budget.
And I love it. Was a great movie.
Yeah. So Creed, Rugboy, you saw Creed?
Yes, I did, and I really enjoyed it.
So how's the direction?
It's pretty good. I mean, there's something to be desired in the fight sequences in the boxing ring, but everything else is done masterfully. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just something's missing from the boxing scenes, in my opinion.
This is also a great pick just to push the diversity forward, and what Marvel is just great at. They're great at female characters. Now you have a black lead in this movie, and you have a black director. That's awesome. I think
it's done 2 movies with highly prominent black lead, same black lead, but a black lead nonetheless in both.
and he's got lots of cred, respected. That's very exciting for Black Panther. I can't wait to see that one. Also,
yeah, I agree.
That one's gonna be good.
Good jump around there, Anthony. Who wants to go? Somebody else pick a thing here.
Oh, you know what I heard?
Yeah,
that I'm going to TV. Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever.
I heard that Titans show that was supposed to be on TNT got canceled.
Oh yeah. They pulled the plug. You know what happened? They what happens in Hollywood? Like they'll have a studio head who like will love a project. And then all of a sudden he quits, and a new studio head comes in and goes, "Nah, I'm not going to," because they want to leave their own mark. So they go, "Nah, I don't want to do anything that guy wanted to do." So that's what happened here. They had a new studio head came in. He said, "No, we're not going to do that right now. We're not going to do anything like that." So that's basically what happened.
I'm kind of glad it got cut, just because I had some casual comic book TV fans come up to me and go, "There's a lot of comic book shit on TV now. It's almost too much." So I think we do need to step back a little bit,
and a lot of
TV.
It's a lot of DC stuff too, which is going to be very confusing for the movies, because now they're going to have two Barry Allens and two of well, I don't even know if they're bringing Green Arrow, but then you would have had Dick Grayson in the show, but now you have the Batman Superman movie coming out, and you know Dick Grayson is going to be part of that canon. So I'm kind of confused. I don't know where DC is going. It's all hinged on this.
Nobody does. I don't think they know where
they don't. They don't know.
I think what they're doing is they're flooding. They want to be on every channel, so that every channel you turn on is DC content. So you're always getting DC content all the time. I think they're just flooding the market. Is what their strategy is.
This is true.
I don't like that. This shit is all over the place. You don't know what continuity fits with what storyline, which character goes where.
They're banking on casual fans not caring that. Not trying to connect the dots like that. They're just banking on you getting invested in every DC show.
And that is Supergirl. That is Gotham. That's the strategy. Flash and Arrow. I mean, Flash and Arrow, I think, are a little more different.
They're different.
They're a little more, and
Constantine was on Channel 4.
Yeah, as on NBC. The CW is a little more invested in these. But
there were rumors of Titan, like you said, and Krypton.
And and then the Krypton prequel.
That's gonna be the next one to go.
What, Supergirl?
Krypton, yeah. No.
They're trying to do a prequel called Krypton, but
that's not gonna happen.
Anthony's right, man. The people we've been talking to, they're feeling the superhero fatigue a little bit. So some of these things need to pivot and try different genres, and it's almost like the superhero aspect has to be another layer underneath what the genre is, and it just happens to be superhero,
like Jessica Jones.
And that's what they're trying. Great segue, Anthony. Speaking of Netflix, have you guys seen? Let's talk Daredevil season 2.
Okay.
First, there was a rumor that it was going to come out the same day as Batman versus Superman.
Oh shit!
And I was like, I bet there'd be people who would binge watch the fucking Daredevil in the morning and go see Batman versus Superman. But there just came out today or yesterday a new trailer, new poster, and the premiere date of earlier than we thought, March 18th. People will get to binge season 2 of Daredevil with John Bernthal as the Punisher, Lodi Young as Elektra, who looks a little Greek in that one photo to me. I think she fits the part.
I'm going to shit on your new trailer and new poster. There's nothing new about any of those images.
Well, it's not new.
It was recap images on the poster and recap trailer.
Yeah, they're hiding stuff. I don't like that.
Wait, so the poster is all?
It's all images from season 1. I might be wrong on that, but I read.
It might be like one or two. Like
I bet there's a clue in that fucking poster because there's a lot going on.
Well, the smoke is Punisher's skull. I'm sorry to interrupt everyone, but
this is what I liked about the trailer. If you haven't seen it, we'll put a link in the show notes. Basically, it opens like you see the top of a chapel, and there are these fresco degraded paintings a la the Sistine Chapel, and it is key moments from the first Daredevil, tying it all into like his guilt and his faith, and then it pulls out, and at the end there's Daredevil standing in the middle, and then towards the end you notice that there's like it forms a skull around him, like in the smoke. It's really beautifully done, I think.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Nah.
Why don't you like it, Ruggs?
No, because I was just like, there's nothing here for me. Like, there's nothing new. I mean, it's cool graphics and stuff.
There is nothing new.
Like, you know what it is? they just went to one of those media guys that do like kind of like what Fetty Ponce does.
Yeah.
You know,
They just went to like an After
make a
Effects guy.
marketing thing.
Yeah.
Use
They
some
went to-
shit from the old episodes.
No, but that,
Bye.
but
And that
that's,
was it.
but somebody had to make all that original fresco art. Anyways, it's a great way to get psyched, and I can't believe we're getting it sooner than we thought. which is
Emron,
crazy.
What'd you think, Bilal?
I know who made
go
the
ahead,
art.
Bob.
I know the entire crew on that show. They film it over in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, the Daredevil show.
Oh, good. Right on. Did you
I
get to
did it.
visit?
No, I've
at all?
been cooped up on the blacklist, and if I don't have to go to Greenpoint, Brooklyn, unless it's for work, I won't go. But
Oh, so it's filmed. The whole thing was filmed in
pretty
Brooklyn.
much, yeah. As far as I know.
Right on,
And John Bernthal, the guy who plays the Punisher, said he would get into character of the Punisher by walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, or I think the Williamsburg Bridge, into the studio every day by himself, just to get into that loner mentality.
That's awesome. In character, in the Punisher headspace.
What do you,
He's gonna-
Bilotti? What do you think? What did you think of Daredevil, and what are your thoughts on season 2? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm ashamed to say I never finished the first season. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know.
shame
Our
on
our
you.
Netflix. You know what happened? We had
Lame.
Netflix and then it expired, and it was the summer. We were like, we don't need TV. We're going to be out on the beach every day, and we just never got it again. But I know I should watch it. I like the second episode was incredible when they had the hallway fight scene. It was sort of lifted from the movie The
Yeah.
Raid, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it was still amazing because I feel like all these Marvel movie fight scenes, as good as they are, aside from Captain America, I think we talked about this, the fight scenes are a little lacking sometimes. So
Yeah.
this was really nice to see a practical man versus man fight scene with no CGI. So very.
Easily the most realistic fight scenes out of
Yeah.
any Marvel production. Like those guys would get back up. He was getting tired. He was falling over, throwing punches. It was great. Speaking of Netflix, they've had a huge rollout. They are now in 190 more countries, meaning lots more people can binge watch Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
And
Some
Making
of
a
our
Murderer.
And Making a Murderer. Oh, snap. Listen, listeners, some of our listeners may be in countries where you're getting Netflix. If you binge Daredevil, Jessica Jones, definitely check out our review shows. We did both of them. They're great. Have you
No.
guys watched Making a Murderer? Anyone? Ruggs?
What's it about?
Oh, my God. You don't know?
You,
Dude, this-
should I give him the
Guys,
premise?
Guys, I got to
Yes,
duck out now.
everybody
It's
is
probably a
talking
good
about
time
this
because
shit.
I know nothing about this show. And
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
thanks for
All right,
having
John,
me.
thanks for coming on.
Thanks for your thoughts, man.
I have.
yeah.
By the way, I have a 20-minute. I'm 20 minutes, and then I got.
All righty, we got time limits, but listen, dude, we'll be here like every week. So anytime you want to jump on, just keep us subscribed to us on Twitter and Blab, and you'll see it.
Thank
And,
you so
you're
much,
welcome
guys.
back
Have a
anytime.
great night, and I will see you guys soon. All right.
Have a good night,
Bye,
John.
See
Rogue
you later,
Boy.
man.
Star
Squreak.
Wars sucks. I hate Star Wars.
Bye, Johnny.
Oh shit, we didn't even get his Star Wars
okay.
thoughts.
So what's
Dude,
that?
sucks.
Where's that echo coming from?
I think it was
I
from
think-
him.
I think it was Bilotti.
I think he had his,
Oh.
his speakers on or something was going on.
Well, he
Which
had
hockey?
headphones in.
I know, but it was only coming when I don't know. I think it was from him.
anyways, Ruggs, Making a Murder is just about the only thing that everyone is talking about for the last
So it's-
2 weeks.
I found out about it through social media. It's like gone really viral through social media. But basic premise is it's a documentary on this guy in Wisconsin that convicted of rape, spends time in prison for 18 years, and then gets exonerated because he didn't do it. He sues the county that he got convicted of this rape cause for $36 million. As he's suing this county, he gets put back in jail for murder in the same county.
yeah, and that's
But
just
did he do it?
Well,
That's spoiling it.
but they don't actually tell you.
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't think so.
Okay.
You can tell me.
Well, hit the spoiler alert.
Okay, this one.
Prepare to be spoiled.
It's all the evidence, a lot of the evidence that we have seen. Granted, it's a show that is documenting 660 hours of trial in 10 episodes. All the evidence that we have seen is that it seems like he was set up by the police.
I went through the same emotions I went through listening to the first season of Serial podcast, because every 15 minutes I'm like, oh, he's not guilty. Oh wait, maybe he is guilty. No, I don't think he's guilty. Wait, I think he did it. I think he's not a perfect individual. This is a very simple person, and from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, which I've driven through on my way to Door County. Incidentally, Manitowoc, home of Agent Phil Coulson and Stephen Avery. Figure that one out.
Stephen
But
Avery's the guy that's convicted of.
Stephen Avery, and so his IQ is 70. He's not perfect. He's done shit. He's flawed, but I don't think he did this, man. The whole thing is a mess. It's really exposing the criminal justice system at the state level, at the local sheriff level. Manitowoc County sheriffs do not look good in this. In fact,
isn't it like the West Memphis 3 and all those things? It's the same shit, isn't it?
Similar. Those guys were also just like backwoods kids who they just picked up and they needed someone to put this on. This is a little more intricate in that, like, it's such a small town. The families know each other. There's a little bit of spite and revenge and I don't know what. And like, it's commentary on how poor people can't catch a break sometimes. And
it's commentary on that. And it's more even commentary on just how little evidence it really takes to convict someone of being guilty and how it really isn't innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven innocent.
And this shit happens all the time. And especially in this era of like people and the cops, the bad rap cops are getting, it's very interesting.
It's very interesting
that this came out.
It reminds me a lot of West Memphis 3.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I remember in the early 2000s, there was this huge online campaign that like was all these chat rooms and all that stuff. And it was like this viral thing that Save the West Memphis 3. They didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. And then all these documentaries came out.
Those are great too, yeah.
And I think that Serial piggybacked off that. And then this piggybacked off.
Well, now it's the big thing is to let's explore a case in 10 episodes and let's not tell you, it's not a whodunit. It's just like an exploration of this and it leaves it up to the viewer. It's all.
Well, anytime what the hell?
What happened?
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a second. I said anytime there's a murder mystery, that always gets people really excited. And then when you throw in the fact that it's real, then even though Imran said it's not a whodunit case, it's still playing out through a lot of fans as a kind of a whodunit thing.
Listen, people binge the shit out of this. Highly recommended. Making a Murderer on Netflix now. Check it out.
I probably won't watch.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Whatever.
There's no capes in it. Superman's not in it. My Spider-Man's not in it.
Your spider shits will not tingle.
Is there hot chicks in it? That's the only other reason I'd watch it.
You know what? I did want to mention, Anthony, there was that one reporter with the library glasses that they will cut to. She was very attractive. Every time she came on the screen, I deliberated all over myself. I almost.
What are you talking about? What?
The one. Remember the one reporter? She was a brunette.
Oh, yeah, she was a good-looking chick. I agree.
I was like, what the fuck is she doing up in Manitowoc? She was great. It's worth it to watch her alone, but she's the most attractive person in the.
I'll answer show. What a good-looking chick like that's doing. I have a friend that's an attractive reporter that works their way up, and you literally have to start at the smallest one in town and go.
Yeah, I think she was a Green Bay reporter, and they sent her there. So yeah, you got to work your way up.
She's probably not even from Green Bay.
No, clearly she's not from the Midwest. But I guess you got to work your way up these markets. Good for them. Yeah.
Not related, but I dated a weather girl once.
Oh, you
nice. Did? A Telemundo weather girl?
Brazilian weather girl?
I don't know where she ended up, but she was a weather girl.
Did she point out storm fronts while you were making out?
Yeah, she said there's some pressure coming in from the north.
Oh, pressure from the south.
I'd be pushing her head down to my balls.
Oh, shit.
There it is. Well done, Ruggs. All right. Next thing, guys. I don't know. I'm just going to go to this one. James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy, has apparently seen like a rough cut of Captain America Civil War. And he says it's awesome. And he says Tom Holland is amazing in this. And I just think that's cool because he is a Marvel guy, but for him to come out and say it, I think this movie's going to be fucking awesome.
He wouldn't say something bad if it was bad, so.
Right.
But I agree. I agree. That just hypes me up a little. Just a little bit.
Absolutely. Like they're still probably putting some finishing touches in there. So who knows like what stage he saw it at. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, also Kurt Russell in talks to play Star-Lord's dad, which is fucking another perfect casting. Their casting is so good. Marvel's casting. Star Dad. He could be like that's a perfect choice. He'll be a great asshole father.
It's amazing to me that Marvel is like getting like Robert Redford, Tilda Swinton, Kurt Russell, the names that they get, Tommy Lee Jones, like these actors that are really good, actors and actresses that are really good to play in a superhero film. Like who would ever thought?
It's just
absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think the more this happens, I think more of these big guys are like, man, I want to get.
That's what I think too.
As
a lot of these actors and actresses, the big names are like, that's kind of a bucket list. I want to be in a superhero film now. That's my thing. Whether it be Marvel or DC, whatever.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even the new guy, Cumberbatch, is Khan, and he's fucking Doctor Strange. Like that. How awesome is that? And then he's Sherlock Holmes, and he's a really good Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Which
so is Robert Downey Jr. He's Sherlock Holmes and Iron Man.
I like him better as Iron Man than Sherlock Holmes, though, I think.
But Robert Downey Jr. did it first.
He did. Also, James Gunn is going to shoot this movie on a fucking Red Weapon 8K camera. A camera.
What does that do?
It's super high resolution digital camera in a small package. Now, in this article, I'll put the link in here.
But what does that mean?
What it means is that he can get a lot more detail in post-production. It's easier to add the special effects because he doesn't have to convert it from film. And then he also mentions that for the size it is, he gets to shoot in a really interesting point of view that's inside something small. So I don't know what that is, but that's
he's putting the camera up his ass.
It's an asshole cam. Welcome to the microverse. Up my ass.
He's using an endoscope to film Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would like to see an 8K endoscope go right up my colon.
Oh shit.
It just means that the human eye can't even see that much fucking resolution, but it just means that this movie is going to be super detailed and super visual, and it's just going to pop off the screen really awesome.
That's like, when I hear that, I just think about all the assholes who are like, I just got a 5K screen. I'm like, there's nothing in 5K, douchebag. There's nothing in 4K even yet.
And a little bit, I think it's a little overkill because your eyes can't see all that detail. At some point, you don't need any more resolution.
Isn't most of Guardians on the Galaxy too? I mean, granted, a lot of it was set pieces, but isn't a lot of it green screen too? So what's the fucking point?
Yeah. I mean, the space scenes. I feel like, but they built that set and the jail set. I think that's a set.
But I mean, is the problem with the Marvel movies is they're not clear enough? Like, what the fuck? Who cares? Like, I don't get it.
I want to see up Rocket Raccoon's asshole.
Like, if anything, the grain of film, the lower resolution makes things easily more. You can hide stuff better in it.
Well, I mean,
you can hide effects and stuff better in it.
Well,
so the ultra clear makes it actually harder for them to blend those shits together.
Well, that's kind of what he said in this Facebook post. He says a lot of guys shoot on digital and then make it look like film. He wants to use this technology and push it forward and use all of the resolution to his advantage. So he says three reasons to choose this format. It's easier to seamlessly incorporate massive amounts of visual digital effects, including a digital tree and raccoon, into a digital base. And then he says, one of the ways I capture my actors' performances is by doing massively long takes, and film reels are like 11 minutes. He says I find it a better way to capture the energy and rawness in a performance because you could just keep recording. And then what I said, he said, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will be utilizing another new technologies I'm very excited about, but can't quite go into yet. For this technology, you'll need a camera the small size of the Red Weapon, but we don't know what he's shooting. So that's going to be awesome. Okay, sticking with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Joss Whedon.
Done.
He's done, people.
Peace out.
He's done. No more Joss Whedon and Marvel.
That's all right. We got the Russo brothers.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good handoff of the torch to the Russo brothers. Anthony, what do you think before you leave?
Do they want it?
Yeah, well, they have it now.
They're in. They have it.
I would say, I mean, not to sound like I don't care about like his feelings or whatever, but they used him up and spit him out. And if he's burnt out, and then I don't want a burnt out guy making Marvel films. That's cool. Exactly. Whatever. He's done. I will miss hopefully the Russo brothers, and I think they can handle it. I will miss his dialogue because some of the scenes in both Avengers and Avengers 2 some of the best scenes are just them talking, and he nails them. He nails their characters every time they talk. So some of that I will miss. I won't miss. I won't miss his. I don't think he has the best sense of visual scale. Sometimes he does come from a TV background, so I won't miss that. And if he's burnt out, let him go. It's fine.
Absolutely. They said the split is amicable. His plans didn't match with their plans. He wanted to create his own universe, which he's really good at universe building. If you've seen Buffy and Firefly and Serenity, and he really wants to direct the movie with a single protagonist. So I think he's just done with having to shove all these people. But you're right. If you're burnt out, step away and not hurt the product. Let the next guy take it.
I'd be interested to see what Joss Whedon
Yeah.
does. I mean, I would love to see him to do a reboot of Buffy and make it a great film.
Yeah.
And do something great with that, but that'll never happen. I have some news that
You go.
we should have done it with Godzilla, but Pacific Rim 2 is off the table now.
Oh, it's completely done.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro was trying to push it, but it's come back as dead.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it was a fun film, but it didn't make a ton of money.
If fucking King Kong makes money, if the new Kong Skull Island makes money, maybe they'd reconsider it.
They'll light it up again.
I'm gonna look up the Pacific Rim numbers as you guys talk.
I mean, it was a fun movie.
But here you go. The budget was 190 million. It made domestically it made 101, but I think it made back its money because foreign it made 309, so it was a huge hit foreign market. So 411 worldwide. So it probably barely made over budget, a little bit over.
I think that the thing with Pacific Rim is the title.
Yeah.
It wasn't titled Monsters vs. Robots. That would a million more people would.
Sounds like a porn name almost.
And then when people did see it, they loved it. When people did Pacific Rim, they did like it. So
you're right. You're right about title because Pacific Rim. To me, it seems like a movie about a Japanese World War film,
or a disaster, or like an earthquake, or a volcano. Like that. Pacific Rim is where all the earthquakes are, and
or a movie about having your butthole licked in the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ass Rim. That's, I'd go see that. Let's have Guillermo del Toro.
Would you really see that? You fucking pervert. What the hell?
I guarantee you right now, Google Pacific Rim job, there'll be a movie. I guarantee it.
I want to see robots licking monsters' assholes. Is that too much to ask for in 2016?
And I think you'll see a porn.
You think there's kaiju fan porn out there?
There's gotta be.
Oh, there there is.
I wonder if the kaiju guys just demolish the furries and dominate
there's
them.
People on DeviantArt. I've seen this. They draw like Godzilla with tits and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, they do all kinds of work.
Godzilla with tits. Hey, Anthony, I know you got to go soon, but before you go, will you look up for me real quick what Star Wars is doing right now?
Sure.
Because
I will. As I'm looking this up, I will just say the reason why I'm going on air is because I actually have to play a basketball game in an hour.
Go stroke a barbell.
Exactly.
Bro, do you even podcast?
No, the jock's got to stay healthy and vibrant. Otherwise, I got a flabby jock on my hands. I'm not going to have that. I'm the flabby one. Rug Boy's the felty one. Anthony's the firm one. Oh, boy.
What?
All
right,
nothing.
anyways.
Oh, shit.
Wednesday, it made 6.2 million. So right now, total domestic is $764 million. And
does that beat Avatar domestically?
Oh, it's already beaten Avatar.
So it is number one highest grossing movie domestically right now.
Yes, it's number one all time domestically. Box office worldwide is 1.57 million. So it's still as of Thursday, January 7th, all time worldwide. It's fourth.
Wow.
So it's on pace, I believe, to beat. It's going to beat Jurassic World. It'll probably beat Titanic, and in all likelihood, it might catch Avatar as well.
James Cameron, move the fuck over. It's unbelievable the numbers, the records this thing broke. The reason I bring this up is because there are hints that the Rogue One trailer may debut with Captain America: Civil War.
Very smart.
So this is going to be rolling. Star Wars is not going away. Also, Ruggs, I don't know if this is true, but I saw this article. Andy Serkis confirms Snoke is not Darth Plagueis. And everyone is saying Snoke is Darth Plagueis.
Bullshit.
You think it could be a misdirect by the fucking Star Wars
Darth Plagueis, because everybody figured it out. They're like, oh, that's like in Lost. Oh, you guys are all dead. No, they're not.
No, they're there.
Let's give you 4 seasons of making you think that they're not, and then they really are. You fucks. I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
I think the fact that he came out and said it means that it is Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right? They're like, oh shit, they figured it out.
Most intentional.
It's like it's Darth Plagueis' ghost. Aha! Technicality, you fucks.
It's technically not Darth Plagueis, it's his ghost. So I thought that was interesting because everyone thought it was Plagueis. Okay, one last thing. There was some interesting about Star Wars. There were some interesting deleted scenes from the script. I'm going to hit this. I just want to mention 2 things in this article right here. Put it in here. It says here, Kylo Ren being so emo is explained by his horrific actions. The screenplay noted Kylo Ren is somehow weakened by this wicked act. And then his shock is broken only when Chewbacca cries out in agony. The novelization explained Snoke believed Darth Vader's weakness was the love for his son, Luke Skywalker. By killing his father, Snoke thought Kylo Ren will be stronger with the dark side, but actually, him killing his dad made him weaker.
Well, I mean, that has that been portrayed on film? I mean,
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
These are bits that are in the novel. I
don't agree with that.
So the opposite of this is the next bit is about Rey being pulled to the dark side. It says after Han Solo's death and Finn's injury, it was revealed that Rey had some sensitivity to the dark side. The screenplay wrote, and she could kill him right now with one vicious strike, but she stops, realizing she stands on a greater edge than even the cliff, the edge of the dark side. The earth shakes, the earth splits, a gully forms. It's also noted in the novelization that Rey hears a voice telling her to kill him. The voice is described as amorphous, unidentifiable, raw, and powered by pure vengeful emotion. And the audiobook, it is revealed that that voice is Snoke. So a little bit of hints and exposition of Rey being pulled to the dark side maybe would have been nice to add to her character. I don't know.
It seems like those are hints that they might try to pick up upon in the second movie, but nothing we've seen on film hints at any of this at all. So you can't take it as canon, really. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna drop out, but keep going. This is good stuff.
Peace out. Have a good luck.
We don't need to do the outro.
Okay. Shoot some no, we don't need to do the outro. Get the fuck out of here. Shoot some
threes, biatch.
Shoot some threes.
Really, go play with some basketball.
Oh my god, that one actually
that
applies.
Works. There we go. All right, guys. Have fun.
See ya. Hey, blabbers, this is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. We're just going over the week's geek news. Ruggs, what do you say we go over a couple more things and see if somebody wants to jump in and hang out with us? Not that there's a lot.
Sure.
What do you want to talk about? How about The Flash Season 2?
Okay, what do you got?
Well, we are going to see Killer Frost on Earth 2, and Eobard Thawne as the Reverse Flash returns.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck is that about? We thought he was dead.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, Robbie Amell. Remember I kept saying that maybe Robbie Amell's in Earth 2 and Caitlin just moved on way too quick. And you said that. You're like, what the fuck? She's just over him? Well, he's coming back as Deathstorm. You know Deathstorm? Are you familiar with the Deathstorm?
That's Evil Firestorm?
Yes, it was during the Black Lantern shit Jeff Johns was writing in his Green Lantern run, where like all the dead people came back as Black Lanterns or the good people turned evil. It's Evil Deathstorm, and he's kind of like dark and blue. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay, that should be interesting.
That'll be good. I'm excited for these shows.
Well, you always want to know what they're going to do on Flash because they did all the good stuff already.
I mean, they did everything. Like, at what point are they going to run out of ideas? Because they really have hit all the fucking main shit.
Yeah, they're digging up fucking Deathstorm. So, of course, they're grasping at straws now.
Yes, they are. Did you see that picture of Pee Wee Herman as Penguin's father on Gotham coming up?
Oh yeah, I did,
dude. It's fucking that's great casting.
Fucking Oswald Cobblepot's dad,
because he was the dad in Batman Returns of
That's
Penguin.
right.
That's awesome. Like, what a great nod to that universe, which really makes me think like this is like some weird Tim Burton universe in a
no, that's reading into it too much.
Right. I wanted to.
They're just like, hey, let's get this guy kind of looks like Pee Wee Herman. So, like, let's just get him back because it makes perfect sense. So
it really does, and I'm excited. I'll still watch that fucking crappy show. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. It's entertaining. Next thing, Ruggs, you a Voltron fan?
I am.
You're an '80s child. Remember how awesome Voltron was?
I mean, looking back on it, it's really bad. But like when I was a little kid, it was the greatest thing on earth because like you had 4 fucking lions. They made one gigantic robot, and then you knew. The minute that fucking sword came out, bye monster. Shit
was gonna go down, and they always waited till like their backs were against the wall. They were getting beat. I'm like, just fucking break out the sword right away.
Because that's pride, man. They're like, let's see if we can do it without the sword.
And then they pull out. What was your favorite line? I always wanted to be the black lion because I just wanted to say, and I'll form the head.
I like Sven, but then he went away. And then
Sven was like the big lunky one, right?
No, that's not. Sven was the guy who was the Blue Lion pilot before the princess.
Oh yeah, and then they had the pink outfit princess take over. Anywho, Netflix new Voltron series headed to Netflix this year.
Now listen, they've tried to bring back Voltron a couple of times, and it's always been fucking dog shit.
They have when?
Trust me. Look it up on Netflix or look it up anywhere. You'll fucking vomit into your Spider-Man costume.
No, but this is all they have to do. Did you see that Thunderbolts reboot a couple of years back?
No, I didn't.
It was really good.
I saw Battle of the Planets.
So Thundercats had a new show, and it kind of built on that mythology, and it didn't have
nobody watched it. I liked it.
It was so good because it was a little more serious. You didn't have stupid snarf. I think they need to do something like that, and something like maybe Robotech style shit with a soap opera overarching thing.
Why do you think that nobody liked the Thundercats?
I don't know. Was that Cartoon Network? I think Cartoon.
I think that fucking network just doesn't know how to keep shows.
No, because they killed the Green Lantern awesome show. They killed Young Justice. Like that show has it in for good shows. I don't know why.
They keep all these shitty shows on all the time that nobody wants to watch, and then the ones that I want to watch, they cancel.
Like, how's Teen Titans Go a thing? Like, it's for kids. Is that any good? I don't get it. But man, that Thundercats was it was really good. So, and also Guillermo del Toro's got a series called Troll Hunters that's also headed to Netflix.
My favorite part about the Thundercats was the hoe.
Ho!
Yeah. Thundercats. Ho!
That was like his prostitute mating call. What happened?
Yeah.
Like all the planet's hoes show up. I love Sword of Omen. Give me sight beyond sight.
Lindsay Lohan just shows up.
Lindsay Lohan's like, hey guys, you called? You said ho.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
What else we got? We got Xander Berkeley playing this character Gregory in season 6 of The Walking Dead. Gregory in the comic books is runs this other community called the Hilltop, and I believe a couple shows back we talked about how there's all these factions. So we're gonna meet the Hilltop colony, and he's kind of a squirrely little character. Like, he's looking out for his own, but he's on the surface he's really smiley and friendly. But I don't think you can trust Gregory right away.
Yeah, anybody who doesn't go by Greg, I don't trust.
But Xander
Call
Berkeley,
me Gregory. No, like
Gregory. Xander Berkeley's a great actor, so I'm excited for his addition into the cast.
Okay.
What else we got? Here's a funny thing here. The Superman Wonder Woman annual that just came out, and my sister sent me this, has a scene in Pakistan, right? And you know how in comic books, people speak other languages, they put them in brackets, and then there's like a little asterisk, and then it says translated from whatever, right? So in this issue, they're in Pakistan, and it says translated from Pakistani.
Lame.
Motherfuckers couldn't Google what language do you speak in Pakistan. It would have taken 2 seconds. That's not a thing.
Is there multiple languages?
There's multiple dialects. You could just pick one. Look, the main.
So is Urdu it's all the same? There's no dialects for the Urdu?
Urdu is actually the official language of the country. And then it's not, it used to be English and they got rid of that. And there's different tribal dialects within, but they have an official language in Pakistan. We speak Urdu, not fucking Pakistani. It's called Pakistanese, you idiots. No, it's not. It's called Urdu. They're getting trolled.
Why don't you call yourself Urdunians?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the cases where the language does not match the country that it's spoken in. But
we speak English and we're American.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense. They could have Googled that shit. They're getting trolled hardcore by Pakistani Twitter people, which is pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny. They deserve it. And I had this other bit, and I wanted to mention it to Anthony before he left. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, casting for handsome guys in Atlanta. That's all it is. They're casting handsome men. And I was going to tell Anthony, hey, you should go try out for Guardians.
Yeah, Anthony's very handsome.
He's very handsome. All right, let's I got some feedback, and then we'll wrap this up and we'll open it up to people and see if anybody wants to jump in. What do you think?
Nobody here.
That's
you're gonna have to tell a little bird or something.
Let's tell a little bird. There is nobody here. Whereas Jordan had subscribed and we had all these other people.
Because they don't want to listen to Godzilla shit for like 3 hours.
Look, we're gonna talk Star Wars. Who wants to talk Star Wars? Jump on in. The only other thing I had is, did you see this X-Men Danger Rooms Protocols video?
No.
Here, it's really cool. This guy, it's a web series. Maybe we get this guy.
Is it real or is it a fanny thing?
It's a fan thing. Hold on, I didn't put the right link in. And I kind of want to talk to this guy because what he did is he's doing this web series, and it's in the style of 90s video game 8-bit art. But their short series is styled like the 90s X-Men series, and it all takes place in the Danger Room. And it sounds like it's just going to be like awesome Danger Room action scenes. It's very well done. Like, I love the look of it. I love the retro feel. The animation's very stylized. Listener, I'll put a link in the show notes. You can watch the trailer, and then the guy comes on and he explains what he's doing and why he did it. And I was like, "Oh, this is kind of interesting." I love this.
Hey, it looks pretty good,
right? I would love. We should do a show where we just like review fan films and find really good ones.
Yeah, we can do that. I like to do that
because there's a lot of great fan shit out there. Yeah, X-Men Danger Room Protocols. It's like you want to play it. It reminds me of like the arcade game in the '80s, the stand-up console.
Yeah, Capcom versus Marvel.
Yeah, the Capcom game. But I love people doing shit and just doing it for the pure passion and fans of it. It's awesome.
Okay. Anything else, Imran?
Holy shit, I had a whole page of links here, and I think we've gone through all of them. Oh, here's another one. You like the Alien series, don't you? Oh, wait. Fuck Alien. Did you see the Deadpool, the second trailer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see the Red Band trailer for Deadpool?
They just released it?
Yeah, it came out a little while ago. Here it is in the chat. Links in the show notes.
I almost don't want to watch it because I feel like I want to laugh like when I watch the movie. Because like when I see a joke, it's not going to play again. And
and there is a lot of jokes in there. So maybe don't watch it. It's a good trailer. You see more Colossus. And you see there are more. I mean, the lines are great. It looks great. I'm really excited for an R-rated superhero film where the hero breaks the fourth wall. Like, they're trying a lot of crazy shit. That's very exciting.
The Deadpool fans are going to eat this shit up. It's going to be Deadpool everywhere. And I want this movie to not do well, but it's going to be huge. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's either just going to like get buried or it's going to be huge. The director, Tim Miller, there's this article on comicbook.com. He talks about the rules of Deadpool breaking the fourth wall. This is what he says. He says Deadpool breaks the fourth wall. Wade Wilson never does. Right? Interesting. So the questions brought up are like, does he know he's a comic book character in a comic book movie? Does he know that he's Ryan Reynolds is playing him and that Ryan Reynolds also played Green Lantern? He says it's a big rabbit hole. We explore it pretty deep. So to him, he said the big thing was finding a line and ultimately decided kind of that it's part of his power. So when he's Wade, he doesn't do it. But then when he becomes Deadpool, he can like talk to this omniscient viewer or something. I really love this idea. Like I hope that he references that he is Ryan Reynolds and he's in a superhero movie because he does that shit in a comic book all the time. And it's hilarious.
I don't know. Wait and see because I don't want to spoil any of the jokes. I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to enjoy the shit out of it. Yeah. But against my own hate for Deadpool, like I'm probably going to like it. Because it looks like it's going to be funny and cool and, actually.
Now, we talked about why you hate Deadpool. Do you hate all versions of Deadpool? Even like, because initially the character was like a straight mark created by Rob Liefeld. And then Joe Kelly comes in and kind of makes him a goofy, slapsticky, fourth wall breaking thing.
I don't know. I think I would have liked him more if he was obscure. But now that he's so popular, he just bothers me.
Yeah.
It's like. Something weird and stupid is cool if like not everybody likes it, but if everybody likes it and I'm like I've seen in malls, I've seen kids walk. I'm like, how the fuck do they know about Deadpool?
Right? Isn't that weird? Like, it's very strange. Like little kids and it's like it's I don't get it. Maybe they thought it was Spider-Man. You could easily confuse him for Spider-Man.
I don't know. I'm like, you guys don't know shit about Deadpool. When did you ever see Deadpool? There's no cartoon.
Right.
There's nothing.
Video game?
So, they don't read comics. Yeah. They're getting this shit at Hot Topic because Hot Topic has Deadpool shit.
They just buy whatever's out there. Although Deadpool was in Ultimate Spider-Man in an episode.
Yeah, but they don't watch that either. Where is this Deadpool getting out there?
I
How?
don't. Who's leaking the Deadpool?
Like, where are these fucking little teenage? And there's girls doing it too.
Wow.
Where are they finding Deadpool?
Yeah,
Where is this Deadpool?
You're right. They're not reading the comic. They probably don't
It
even
makes
know.
no fucking sense.
They don't know who he is. They're just fucking jumping on the bandwagon. It's good for the Deadpool.
Bandwagon shit. It's a bandwagon shit, and it's a cosplay shit. I used to love cosplay. Now I fucking hate it.
No, it's kind of been ruined. Yeah, it's just I don't like that.
Anytime something goes mainstream and people just follow and jump on the bandwagon, do it to be cool and do it for attention, I fucking hate it because it makes no sense. Like, popularity of something should be because it's good, not because everybody else is doing it.
This is the world we're living in, though. Now, remember we talked a little bit about how back in the day for us, it used to be you would find something obscure and it would be yours, and you would just let a couple of people know, and you didn't want it to blow up because you wanted it to be yours. And then once everyone was onto it, you're like, fuck this thing. I don't like this anymore. But these days, I think it's the opposite. Is everybody's jumping on because I don't know why everybody's jumping on.
No, I'm telling you, it's Hot Topic. That's what it is. I'm stating it here now. Hot Topic is the reason. Dude, Hot Topic in Walmart.
What you know what I found at Whole Foods today? I was at Whole Foods and they have a poster section, and there's 20-inch by 28 posters of Marvel comic covers. Like all these like obscure covers, Silver Surfer, old ones from the 60s. Yeah, at Whole Foods. I bought the Amazing Fantasy one. They had Amazing Fantasy. I was like, oh shit, I'm buying this. But it was at Whole Foods.
That's something wrong about that.
Right? What's going on? Our culture is being co-opted.
Oh, shit.
Fucking Whole Foods. And it was made out of organic cornmeal. That was the weirdest thing. I could eat this poster.
I dare you to.
I'm not going to eat it. I did want to mention one last thing. Speaking of, going back to Doctor Strange, I've been reading the new reboot of the book with art by Chris Bocciolo. It's really good. It's really well done.
What book is this?
It's just called Doctor Strange. It's the new. It started again at number 1.
That's the perfect marriage of art and character right there.
Dude, yes, Bocciolo is perfect on this. I forget who's writing it, but basically, this is a great introduction. So, listener, if you want to get into the Doctor Strange and the movie's coming up, pick up Marvel's new Doctor. There's only like 3 or 4 issues out. Pick up Doctor Strange because he explains the Sanctum Sanctorum, the land that it's on. He kind of explains why that house is there. Like that exact spot has a history of mystical shit happening for like thousands of years, and they do this cool thing where he walks around and his third eye opens, and then he sees all the other levels of reality, and it's drawn where the real world is black and white drawings, and then there's all these mystic creatures in color, and this is him looking through his third eye at all the reality. It's a great technique. It's very well done, and basically he's like, people come to him who have weird paranormal powers. He's like a paranormal investigator. So the first issue deals with this girl. She shows up, she takes her hat off, and she's got like these demon mouths in her head. Like there's a mouth with teeth in her head, and then all these demons pop out, and he has to deal with this. It's really good. I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good. Also, the Vision title is really good. You should read that. Visions. It's called The Vision.
Wow, I gotta get to the comic book store. I haven't been there in a while.
Some of this new shit, just wait for the trades that are gonna come out. Some of this new shit is really good.
No, the guy at the comic book store is probably gonna kick my ass. I have to go there.
He's like, I got 700 books waiting for you here. You don't have like a list or
you want to know? He did one time.
Yeah.
He called me up and he's like, I need some comic relief. And I'm like, what? I don't know any jokes. He goes, no, I need you to pick up your fucking comics.
I gotcha.
Oh, shit.
I need some. You want me to come down and fucking?
Like I just sat there going like, all right, why the chicken cross the road?
He's like, no.
I need you to pick up your fucking books.
Come get your shit.
Yeah.
All right. I want to read this email. We got an email, and this can spur some discussion. So let's go to the feedback.
Jock and Nerd.
Our buddy David Malofsky, editor of A Place to Hang Your Cape at AP2HYC, writes in, and he writes, hi, Imran, Anthony, and Rugberto. I really enjoyed your episode 69 reviewing The Force Awakens. I thought that Rugboy made some interesting points about Star Wars being the cinematic property, being more fantasy than sci-fi, something I've always said as well, and being a pastiche of things we've seen before. My question is, Do you think that Avatar was so successful for the exact same reasons? Despite personally not liking the film, you can't deny its influence on modern cinema, especially when it comes to 3D. And it's similarly a fantasy film in sci-fi clothing. And of course, until now, it was the highest grossing film of all time. What do you guys think? What do you guys in Felties think? Oh, and bring back DD69. Cheers, David. Well, first of all, DD69, as you guys may not have heard, go listen to our Star Wars review. I built a droid that's powered by my Nokia cell phone from 1998. The phone is out of battery, and they don't make chargers for it. So DD69's out of commission.
Wow.
Secondly, it's interesting that he picked up on this because we had an Avatar conversation after the Star Wars show, which I cut out. I should have left in because it was pretty good. But we were discussing this exact thing. And I feel like right now it's become cool to hate Avatar just 5 years later when we said it's a decent film, right, Ruggs?
It's definitely a good film. I mean, it makes more sense than in a lot of ways than The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a guy. I mean, I don't understand the whole. Look, Avatar is kind of a weird thing too. Like you have a guy who they build a genetic thing for him to pilot with his brain.
Yeah.
And then this is the vehicle where this guy who can see into this alien world and sympathize with these alien people that they're ruining their whole entire environment to get this fucking unobtainium, which is some bullshit fucking metal.
That's a horrible name, by the way.
I think that's a real metal.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but that's what someone told me, and I think I believe.
I know that sounds like a made up fucking metal name.
Yeah, this is unobtainable.
Let's call it unobtainium.
Yes.
But structurally, dude, the movie, it's well paced. It's good character arcs. Cameron built an ecosystem. It's
a great bad guy. That guy with the scar on his face is great.
Great bad guy. He did this is his.
There was multiple bad guys. There was rivals to the cause. He does that other guy that didn't want him. The other Indian guy, the other Avatar Navi guy.
Oh, yeah. He was
not his chick.
He was jealous and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Cameron's Star Wars in the sense that he built so much backstory, so much mythology. He developed 100 species of made up plants just so it could all be accurate. And when it all comes down to it, how can you hate a movie where there's fucking dragons taking down aircraft? Come on, it's got fucking kick-ass dragons.
I've never seen. Look, at the bottom line, did Avatar bring you new shit that you've never seen before?
Yes.
I have never seen a guy riding a bird before, or whatever you want to call it before, like that. Yeah. I have not seen that shit ever before.
That's awesome.
I have not seen fucking mountains floating in the air before with fucking waterfalls.
Yeah.
I have not seen some of this fucking mech shit that they had that they were fucking rocking out on.
Great design. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Really well developed.
Everybody could suck my dick. I mean, I'm not saying Avatar is the greatest movie because it's not. All right. It's a decent film. But for sci-fi, if you're going to compare it to fucking some ridiculous shit that Star Wars is, and Star Wars is ridiculous.
It's both.
Makes no sense.
It's both fantasy, and it's just weird that at the time Avatar was a huge technological achievement. It brought the 3D market back, and it's still one of the best films in 3D. And it's something that hasn't been able to be replicated by anyone else.
And it's entirely in 3D. I mean, it's entirely in 3D models. All of those Na'vi, they're not people. All those people watching it, and that uncanny valley is not there.
That's amazing.
You know what the uncanny valley is, right? You know what that is.
What was that?
The uncanny valley.
Is that where the X-Men come from?
No.
What is
the uncanny valleys? Whenever they try and do human beings or anything like that in film, it turns creepy, like Polar Express. They look like they have dead eyes and stuff. There was some life to those. Those things.
Yes. Polar Express is creepy. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it just seems scary.
No, there's definite life to these characters. Realize these, just the scale of how tall they were. It was so believable.
So maybe it was a genius thing on him to actually make these creatures that are not human.
Yes.
So we can get that kind of life.
Yes.
Because otherwise they would look like these dolls. like they do in like when you watch these, some of these things. Like if you ever watch even Beowulf.
Oh yeah, that's horrible too.
Well, I love that movie, but yes, there is a creepiness to it. It's very creepy looking. It's not quite right.
The fact that we were able to connect with these characters in Avatar and just forget that they were Na'vi and like get to know them, like it accomplished what it needed to do. Now, don't you think it's funny that like 5 years he's working on? We talked about how he's working on 2 more. He's trying to figure out how to shoot underwater, which is awesome. And if he does that, Aquaman should just steal however that is.
Yeah,
use that because
you better believe there's going to be new shit there that we've never seen before. Underwater shit. It's going to be crazy.
I am so ready for like a James Cameron comeback. That's huge. That puts him on the map because moving forward, you got Star Wars, you got Star Trek, you got Marvel. I miss my James Cameron. I miss Cameron.
Do you want to know where I like fucking just? I already had a boner for James Cameron.
Even Titanic, dude. If you fast forward and just start the movie where the ship crashes, the rest of that movie is fucking incredible, dude.
All right, let me just complete my thought.
Okay.
I have always had a boner for James Cameron because he is a very simple director. He gives you what you want to see, and he does it in a classy way. When I saw the drawings that he did when he was supposed to direct Spider-Man, saw like how great those drawings were.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, this motherfucker is a legit better than a comic book artist.
Holy shit, he drew those? I forgot about that.
He drew the Rose from Titanic, the one that Leonardo DiCaprio, all of his drawings.
Oh,
all James Cameron's drawings.
That Kate Winslet drawing was by James Cameron?
I think so.
Damn, he's got some skills then. Like that's I'm sure he designed a lot of these Avatar things or started the designs because that's like straight from his head. Plus, the guy's original. How original is everything he's done, really, you know?
Yeah, it's all new shit.
Yeah.
So, say what you want about Cameron. He gave us new shit. Yes, it's Dances with Wolves, but who really wants to watch someone with Kevin Costner anyway?
No, well, but the point, and that's what, the conversation I cut out. We made that point that Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas, whatever, it's just a relatable human story that applies everywhere. And he's just using that as a framework. He admitted himself that he stole it from Dances with Wolves in space, but it's a human story. It's been told over and over and over again.
Yeah. So, so to Dave's point, I think we should talk about it and still give it its due.
Absolutely, because it's the minute he like photos and trailers start coming out, everyone's going to be back on the James Cameron bandwagon there. Tell you what. But don't you feel like it's cool to hate it now? It's only been 5 years and people are like, I feel like people bash it.
No, I mean, like, look, Avatar, there are things that suck about it, just like anything. There's gonna be its weak points and things that you can't get over. But in the grand scheme of things, he created something new.
Yeah.
And it's harder to judge that because you can judge Star Wars because there's all this canon and shit that you can sit there and compare. All right. There's all of these things, these rules that they're breaking, things that don't make sense in the context of themselves. So James Cameron always like brings you something new,
and he thinks it out. Like he knows where it's going, and he'll leave clues, and he has resolutions, and it all ties together really well.
We talked about Terminator. It was the first movie's closed loop. Boom.
Yep. Second movie still closed loop. Like very tidy. A lesser director would have left all sorts of like loopholes and shit hanging, and the man is just great at structuring shit like this. I miss a good Cameron movie, man. I'm dying for them. I'm jonesing for the next one.
Absolutely.
Because I think he can he's gonna have to take down the Star Wars and the Star Treks and the Marvels and get some of that money.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up. Final plugs, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Don't forget, listener, if you're listening to this before Wednesday, January 13th, join us for Podcast Fan Appreciation Day right here on the Blabs. It's pretty much, we're just going to hang out with people, and you'll get to talk to us, which is what we usually do here if anybody was in the room here with us.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We had people at the beginning, but
I think we lost it with the Godzilla.
Yeah, we front loaded it with Godzilla, and that's what we got to realize that's a niche thing.
It's very nichey. That's okay. Look, follow Rug Boy. Where can they find you, Rugs?
You can find me on Twitter at Really Rug Boy. And that's all you need to do. Just hit me up and we'll talk.
And he'll tweet back. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Let's just do this. Let me finish it up, and then I know what we can talk about. If you want to contact us, email show@jockandnerd or go to jockandnerd.com/contact. All the links are in the show notes. You can send us a voicemail, Facebook, Twitter. It's all there. Number 2, subscribe to the Jock and Nerd Show. Go to jockandnerd.com/subscribe. You'll get every show. It's free. You won't miss a thing, and it helps us out. And finally, listener, just tell your best friend. Go up to your BFFFF and give them one of these.
Jock and Nerd.
And then they'll be confused, and you can then tell them what it is. But turn someone on who you think would love this geeky podcast. Right, Ruggs? You tell people all the time.
Yeah, I can't stop telling people.
That's why you're the Rug Boy. All right, gang. Thanks for listening. We thanks for hanging out. My name is Imran.
And my name is Roberto Bambino.
He is not the jock, but he is the Rug Boy.
That's right.
And what am I?
You're the nerd.
And thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Jock and Nerd. All right, Ruggs. Let's talk Kermit and Friends.
Oh, okay.
You were on yesterday.
Okay, so Kermit and Friends. You should change the subject matter, the subject line. So maybe if any Kermit friends are out there, they could. Angel just joined.
Hi, Angel.
Okay. You could throw her on if she wants to be on.
Yeah, we're in post show open and blab. If anybody wants to jump in, and we are talking about Rug Boy's latest appearance on Kermit and Friends.
Okay, she's playing Grand Theft Auto. Ooh.
Oh, she's playing GTA on Twitch. I think I saw her tweet before.
That's cool. I'll check that out.
I haven't played GTA in ages. Okay, so I changed the topic. It says talking Kermit and Friends with Really Rug Boy. Let's see if that attracts anyone.
Let's see if that attracts some people.
What about Stern Fan Nation? Maybe he'll come on and yell at you again. That was great.
Oh yeah, man, that was crazy. Okay, so let me just give you the background info.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
What is Kermit and Friends? All right, well, let's start with what is Kermit and Friends. Kermit and Friends is a daily show over on Spreecast, which is another platform similar to Blab, hosted by the lovely Elisa Jordana and Douche Monkey. And she runs the show 5 days a week in the evening. And it's a lot like this. There's a whole gang of characters. You can comment. Rug Boy's been on a bunch. I've been on. The Jock's been on. She's really cool. She was on a Blab of ours. I'd love to get her on a Blab again. And Ruggs makes occasional appearances. So when was the last time you were on before yesterday? Was it a while?
All right. So basically what happens is the Howard Stern show, one of the guys that writes for the show, Benji, his girlfriend or former girlfriend or whatever you want to call it is Elisa Jordana. And they started this podcast reality show kind of thing. And it's basically like a whole community of people that jump on, talk, and it's just like the soap opera that never ends. So I started going on, with Imran because she liked puppets, and she's like, "Hey, you're a puppet. Come on the show." And
he loves Rug Boy.
And she loves me. So I was on, and I was going on like quite often, and I just kind of like saw this character recurring, whose name was Chris Dickens. And he's kind of like this older guy who they would just focus all this time on this guy. And I don't know, like everybody was talking about how he's so great for the show. And I didn't get it. And so the more I went on, the more I realized this guy's just a pathological liar. And he just says whatever he said. He tells us that his dog died. He said that somebody else died and always wants sympathy. And
sometimes he cries, and then he's like fine 5 minutes later, and then he's like emotional.
His brother,
and a lot of times he'll have a breakdown in a cafe. Like he's always like live streaming in public from a cafe, and he's just like saying all this shit in public. It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, so you do know about Kermit and Friends. All right. So Angel knows she flustered him. So anyway, basically what happens is you get on, sometimes you get on and you talk to Elisa, and that's usually cool.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they're focused on Chris, and I'm like, and he's definitely doing shit that's just to get airtime or for the show. And it becomes like, that he's lying for the show to make people like react to him.
Yeah.
And so it wears off, like you lie once.
You're onto his game.
You're onto his game. And then it's so then the rest of the show turns into the chat trying to either shit on him or other guests trying to debunk him. And I just had enough of it. So
did you call him out? I wish I'm going to have to go watch this because.
And I did. I called him out.
Yes,
but
that's awesome.
Anyway.
Oh, shit.
Okay, what?
Every time I've been on with him, I've called him out, called him a liar. But that's like playing into his shtick. So I don't have any like hate for the guy, but I'm just sick. I'm just tired of him. Like I'm tired of the shtick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm tired of him coming on lying about something that we should feel bad about him for, and then it's just like, okay, like it's boring after a while. This has been like I don't know, been doing it for 3 months, and it's been boring.
It's so draining, and it's so like I don't know how she puts up with him. But if is it drawing in people that like
I guess, but so I stopped going on Elisa's show like a lot because number one, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Number two, like when I get on there, the chat just starts ripping me a new asshole, and I'm like, why do you want me on if I'm just gonna get shit on the whole time?
People, their chat is brutal.
Yeah,
they're funny, but they're fucking brutal.
And I can't just be funny when you just throw me on. Randomly. I have to like either sit in and just kind of absorb things, and then I can like riff on it.
Well, and that's the difference with Spreecast for the viewer here, as opposed to Blab, where you can click and join. She has to put you on, so she'll just throw you on whenever, and you just have to be like ready all the time, I guess.
Yeah. So for me, that's not really a lot of fun. Like to try and all of a sudden be relevant in whatever conversation that they're having.
Right.
So sometimes I have nothing to say. So I find it frustrating. But anyway, I love Elisa. So I do go on the show just to talk to her.
Yeah.
And just kind of like get to know her because I want to have a relationship. And interview her and whatever. So
those are my favorite parts of her show when you do that.
Yeah.
She talks to you. She opens up when you ask her questions.
Yeah. And she's pretty open, but so, and also when I get on a riff and I'm starting to get warmed up to actually start some haymaker jokes.
Yeah.
I get turned right off.
Fucking bumps you. All right. So Chris Dickens is also known as Kleenex.
So anyway, Chris Dickens has got been banned or whatever so many times that he keeps changing his name.
Oh.
So he never came back as Kleenex because he cried so much, you know?
It's appropriate.
So anyhow, I'm on the show and somebody came on and insulted somebody and called somebody like, I don't know if it was a fag or something. I don't remember what it was. And I said, that's not an insult. An insult if you call somebody Kleenex, because that's the worst insult you can be called.
Oh,
he didn't like that at all, did he?
So he heard it and he called into the show and he's like, I just want to talk to Rug Boy because I didn't know that he hated me.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, why do you care if I hate you? I'm nobody. I'm never on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm only on like once every 3 weeks or something. I'm not even on all the time.
Why was he so concerned about your opinion?
Yeah. I'm like, so why do you care what I think? If I insult you, I'll be gone. You'll never hear from me for another 2 weeks. And he's like, well, I'm a big fan of your show. And I'm like, bullshit. Like name anybody else on my show. Like, what's the title of my show?
Did he know?
Like, he said nerd or something. You know, he really didn't know it.
Okay.
And then he's just like, I'm like, name the guy on the show. He's the guy in the Spider-Man thing.
Oh, so he may know a little bit.
Then he called you Enron.
He remembered my name. Wow.
So then I'm like, oh, so you think he's a fan? And Lisa's like, yeah, I think he's watched you a couple times. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, look, if you're a fan, then you know that all the shit that I say doesn't mean anything. And he's like, and then I was just, taken aback by him saying that he's a fan of mine and he watches my show when I've never seen Chris Dickens pop up on any of this shit ever.
Well, look, there's I think he might be on Blab. I've seen him. There's a +1 right here. So someone is watching and not logged in. If Chris Dickens is out there, come on in, buddy. We'll talk to you. Angel, how's it going?
I left my game for Rug Boy. You see this?
Oh, look,
I
she
left
paused
my
GTA
Rug Boy.
5. Were you in the middle of like a drive-by shooting and just paused it or something?
Actually, I was getting killed by hackers. It's getting kind of hard in the game. Some hackers are doing some retarded stuff on the online version. So,
How you like that game overall? You like it?
well, I'm addicted. I don't know how else to say that. I've been actually this week I haven't played so much, but the first week that I got GTA, I was off working. I was off of work and I was at home with a friend all week. And I think I played like 67 hours that week.
Jesus. And that's like, in that game, that's only like half of a stage. That's like one mission. Like that game is way too fucking long. That's my only, I don't have 600 hours. Like, do you do like 100%, like do all the shit and all the little side things? Is that your deal?
I did mostly heists and I bought 2 houses in that time. So I earned like 4 million, maybe 5 million.
They turned it into Monopoly a little bit too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing.
Well, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that my love for games really revolves around real estate. I played UO when I was like first in games and I had my little house. And so now when there's games with a house, I'm like, gotta have the house with the pretty things. And that's all I really care about. I wanted the house and the clothes.
Did you ever play The Sims? That sounds like it'd be right up your alley.
Oh, I played The Sims all right. The Sims is actually the reason that I got a computer in the first place because I met a guy and we really hit it off. This is the guy I ended up being with for 15 years.
Wow.
And when I first met him, he didn't have any TV at all. And he had a computer and he was like, here, try this. I think you'll like it. And he put me in front of The Sims. And he, like, a week later, bought me my own computer because he was tired of asking for his back.
Like, get off. And The Sims is even a greater fucking useless time suck. Here's a case. Let me pause my life and take care of my digital baby and my digital dishwasher. And what the fuck? Like, I would play that and it would creep me out to the point where I would look up and I'd be like, hey, am I in a video game? Like, who's to say that we're not in The Sims? And there's somebody controlling us. It's such a crazy meta game.
That's what GTA 5 did to me. It actually brought about that heads in a VAD theory. And then I was like, wait a minute, maybe if we are heads in a VAD, then...
Yeah. Wait, what's heads in a vat?
It's the whole theory that the Matrix
like Vanilla
was based
Sky.
on.
Oh, the Vanilla Sky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that we're all connected to something. And so basically the idea that our avatars could be a world too. Like what's to say that our avatars in these games aren't somewhat aware and that we're not just some game being played by other people, right?
It's like the Matrix. Like how deep does this go? It makes you question everything.
It really does. It really does.
That's awesome.
I threw you guys off topic. I actually, I was
topic.
so surprised to hear the drama. I was like, wow, Rug Boy's like in the middle of drama. Every time I hear about this Kermit's and Friends show, which I have no interest really in checking out, but it's always drama. Everything to do with the show.
Well, that's the show, though. That's pretty. That's the point of the show.
It's a bunch of people that are either shitting on each other or trying to fuck with each other's lives. Like we had a guy on last week, John Bolton. Remember the guy who was getting phone calls all the time?
Oh yeah.
One guy was putting his phone number out on blabs and stuff.
Wow. These guys are so brutal in the chat, dude. They're hardcore. This guy comes on and goes, New York State lottery numbers. And then he reads someone's fucking phone number and posted it in the chat. And we're like, dude, whose number is that? What are you doing? He goes, that's not a phone number. But it's so crazy over there.
Oh, so then listen to this.
Yeah.
So that guy, John Bolton, that we had on our show last week, or the last time that we had that blab or whatever, he's taking care of his sick mom. Like this dude's like 50 or something, and he's taking care of sick mom.
That sucks.
And so at one point in the show, he turns the camera so I could see his sick mom, like in the other room.
Wow. Yeah.
And she's legit like a sick mom bedridden. And she thought that I was one of his friends. Like I had the same voice as one of his friends, Doyle. And she's like, Doyle, is that you? I'm like, no, it's Rug Boy. And I felt really bad.
This is entertainment.
Doyle rules.
3.0.
The show is a lot. I related to like Real Housewives show because it's
a lot like Real Housewives.
Never seen that either. I don't.
And I shit on that yesterday too.
They did.
because like at one point Elisa was going over all the shows that Benji watches with her.
Yeah.
And they were all reality shows about miserable people. And I'm like, I hate those shows. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Why are we congratulating these people? Why are these people becoming famous? I mean, like the fact that they have no morality and they'll just put anything on, like just terrible things that they want to do just for the camera, just to keep the story going. Yeah. That's so fucking vapid. I'm like, well, how do you know it's real?
I gotta give her credit though for realizing that this is a popular genre of entertainment and recreating it on this Freecast, because she gets a lot of viewers. It's successful. There's like 70, 80 people a show.
Well, Howard did it first, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. And
I know what you mean.
Yeah. She goes every night too, like 5 days a week. So it's she's
when you see somebody and you kind of maybe disagree with how they go about their success, but they have results every day, you've got to say like they're attracting whatever those people that are watching it want. So that's amazing, right?
Yeah,
but I think as a society we should stop doing like rewarding people for doing shitty things, because I mean, like I know what it is. It's like everybody has this little devil on their shoulder that wishes they could do this shit, but they don't, because
that's why GTA 5 is fun.
Yeah, you could do it in the game.
But these are actual people actually ruining people's lives. Like, for example, if you take the Real Housewives of New Jersey or everything, because I'm East Coast, so I know about this shit because because I'm from around here. This lady, Teresa, who went to jail, like she fucked up her whole. Yeah. The reason why she's in jail is because she was flaunting her wealth, lying about everything, and then they finally saw all this bullshit on TV. And not only that, but all the dumb shit that her mom and her dad has done are now affecting the kids in high school. They're getting teased, they're getting bullied. They have to put up with such bullshit. But not only that, but these kids are growing up to be complete scumbags too.
Yeah, they're all going to be assholes. Now, I will confess, my wife may watch Real Housewives of New Jersey, and I may have got sucked into it. But when they went to jail, like her and her husband, she goes to jail first, then he goes. I was like, oh shit, they're really, and she tried to get out of it, and the stuff they did was kind of despicable and shady. And I was like,
this is true story, right? This isn't isn't reenacted drama. This is
this was in the news that, Real Housewife Teresa is going to jail, and then her husband, and they worked it out with the court so that maybe for the show or maybe for their kids, so that they both wouldn't go at the same time. They would go one at a time, so that would be a parent. But I was like, why do felons get a fucking TV show?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They can build a lot of wealth from that too.
That's despicable.
It's like creating the Bonnie and Clydes.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, nice shirt, Rug Boy.
Yeah. Cool. Have you seen Star Wars?
I went and saw it the second time today.
Oh, a second time.
Yeah.
What, Ruggs, you want to keep talking about this, or can I ask her about Star Wars?
No, you go ahead.
What'd you think?
Well, I don't want to create any spoilers for anybody.
Oh, look, here.
So, spoiler warning.
I did it. Here, right there. You can say whatever you want now. I don't give a fuck. Spoilers. Listen, everyone has seen this movie. It's made $1 gazillion.
Yeah, that's true.
You saw it for a second time.
And if you haven't, get a life. Go watch Star Wars.
It's so good.
Some people are really busy, and if that's one of you people, I really feel bad for you. Maybe you should take a break, go see Star Wars.
Well, now before we find out your thoughts, what is your relationship to Star Wars? Are you a big Star Wars person?
I am, and I'm an even bigger Star Trek person. So I'm one of those people that travels both sides of the fence. So
interesting. Okay.
When I saw the movie, I was a little bit taken aback. I think it was great. Don't get me wrong. It was so nice seeing Star Wars. It stuck to Star Wars. It felt like Star Wars. It was great to watch Star Wars in 3D. How exciting. Both times. I didn't expect this the second time. I expected the first time to feel excited in my seat when the movie started.
Yeah.
And then it started with the old style. And I was like, oh my God. I started getting like people in the theater were giggling. You could just feel the real excitement, But
I was the same exactly. As soon as that it said the scroll started, and I was like, oh shit, this is it. This is great.
And the second time I wasn't expecting it, but I got the same feeling. So It was, so that was pretty exciting. But I felt when I was done watching the movie, I don't think Disney hit quite enough on the character depth. They almost did. They just didn't go quite far enough with that. And there were some scenes like the cantina. They scrolled across everything so fast. I was like, what the hell? There was no focus. It's the cantina, guys. Like, hello, Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here?
I agree. I wanted to hang out there a little bit more. I wanted to see more characters. You're right. They just like scratched the surface of the characters. And even though it was so well paced and it felt like it moved well.
Yeah.
But then it was almost rushed in a way, when you got to the third act with the fucking Star Killer.
It wasn't Lucas.
No.
They could have
Wasn't
let
Lucas.
breathe just a little bit more.
It needed it needed a pause somewhere. It just kept going. It needed one scene to just stop, take a breath. There were no breaths. It was just like boom, 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 boom.
I feel like they were afraid to make it a 3-hour movie, but we would have liked that.
Yeah, I mean, runtime, it's over 2 hours, but it does not feel that long. Like in fact, where the movie ends is where I wanted the movie to start. I was like, no, show me that.
Me too.
I saw all this other shit before. You just changed the names and flipped the sexes and the races. Show me this shit over here now.
And it's funny because I got halfway through the movie the second time and I started thinking, because when you watch the movie a second time, you're not as, and so I started thinking about what's going to happen after this movie comes out in DVD and stuff, or Blu-ray, I guess we say nowadays. And I was thinking, I wonder if they have additional scenes to add. It would be really great if it became a 3-hour movie. And that's what they've done, is they've just taken out this footage for the theatrical version. I hope.
I did feel like a lot of stuff was cut out, and there's some articles that come out that like there's some deleted scenes, a lot of stuff in the script. The novelization also adds more. Hey, everyone, I just want to say on Blab, if you're listening to us, thanks for joining us. I want to know what you guys think about Star Wars. So we got an open seat. Jump on in if you want to geek out about Star Wars. Go on, Ruggs.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Favorite parts, any questions that left you? I feel like they did a good job of leaving the right questions for fans to really get into it and be excited for the next one.
Well, I know the story. So knowing the story or not knowing the story, I think determines how people feel about that at the end of the movie.
And I think they did a reset in the best way that we
What do you mean you know the story?
So what do you mean the story of the next one?
No, I mean, I actually know what happens in the stories of the books. And so
Those books don't count anymore.
Well, I know, but there's some things about the genealogy and stuff that if you know about those stories, you can't help but know things about this story. So
you're extrapolating from these books, hoping that they're going to correlate?
Well, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything for any next movies for anybody that might,
No, go ahead. We're gonna we gotta get to the bottom of this. I do mean stuff like, I know in the extended universe, Luke had a son and his name was Ben, and they kind of flipped that.
Well, that's just it. Is if you don't know who is actually who, then I don't really want to spoil it. Like, no, I can't.
Yeah, but we spoil shit all the time. That's what
this show is. We love.
Yeah, but I don't.
All right. Okay. So
I can't be that one.
So if you are a Star Wars and Star Trek fan, and the fact that J.J. Abrams is helming both of those, how do you feel he did compared to the Star Trek, the first Star Trek, compared to this movie?
I think it was great, except that his style is coming across to most fans as a little bit rushed, which works great for Star Trek. That's what we need in Star Trek. But in Star Wars, we need to slow the pace a little bit because it's about the visuals. It's so important. I mean, there's a Star Trek universe that isn't quite like Star Trek. And so I felt anyways that some of the influence of Star Trek may have influenced the Star Wars series.
Did you like Into Darkness, the second one?
I love you. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, did you see the trailer for the fucking Fast and Furious James Lynn third one?
No, because I don't watch trailers ever.
Okay. So you're going to go into that movie not
Blind.
watching the trailer.
I am so proud. I actually watched Star Wars the first time without a single hint of anybody telling me anything. I didn't see a single morsel, even with all the media that was out there. I successfully dodged it all.
You know what? I noticed, like, first of all, the way their marketing was brilliant. The way they had the one big trailer and they didn't tell anything was brilliant. But I felt like fans were being really considerate and kind of policing each other for spoilers. Even though I did see spoilers in comments, I thought it, and the same way.
Dicks, by the way,
yeah, those are all assholes. But I didn't. I went in also without anything being spoiled, and I was like, how is this even possible in this day and age that I actually made it here? And that's why I had to see it the first day, because I'm like, I can't. It's gonna get spoiled. But it does. Yeah. You have to see this movie without it getting spoiled. I have to say, I think a little.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, for sure.
Now, who was your favorite?
I would have to say Finn.
You like Finn?
Yeah. I really like the story of a person that comes from a place where they're taught and they make a decision that's different than the expectation, because I think those are the people in society that really make a difference. So I liked that.
I mean, the way they humanize these stormtroopers, to see a stormtrooper take his helmet off, we've never seen that shit before.
My favorite character in the whole movie is the stormtrooper that has the baton.
Oh, yeah, it's funny you brought that up.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
I have this article here. Let me put this in here. Lucasfilm actually confirms who that guy is. And it's kind of a cool story. He was dubbed TR-8R by some people, but that Baton Riot Stormtrooper is in fact FN 2199 is his designation. He was part of Finn's training squad, as detailed in a comic book called Before the Awakening, or maybe it was a book by Greg Rucka. Oh, it was the book released the same day. And so he's part of. He's called Nines by his pals. He has red hair, apparently. And
a ginger.
Yeah, he's a ginger. And they're friends. So he has an electrified Z6 baton. Nines and Finns were paired with Zero and Slip during training. Slip was the stormtrooper killed at the start of the movie, who streaked his blood with the streaks. So that's why he says traitor. I was hoping that was the case, because it felt like it was one of his buddies. I love how like these stormtroopers have personalities and names, and they're not just like clones and meaningless like drones like they used to.
Well, that kind of took away from the original Star Wars. At the same time, it changed the story pretty drastically. A lot of people complained that there was a female stormtrooper.
That's awesome.
Well, it is, except that if you read the books, it's actually supposed to be a parody of World War II, and it is very clearly stated in the Star Wars trilogy that there were no females.
That's why they're called I mean, because weren't the Nazis called stormtroopers?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like a direct pull of a fascist regime. I wanted more of Captain Phasma. Like I don't know why. I wish we could see more. She that's
how pissed is she that she was in that movie?
She's like, they cut all my fucking scenes. What the fuck? I'm sure she had more to do. But yeah, that dude had a great riot baton. Finn and Nines.
It's too bad they didn't give us more eye candy too, because there was some stuff in there, like the computer generated characters that were
chessboard.
Yeah, like all of it. I was like, whoa, slow down. It's going by too fast. Like, I really wanted to see that stuff. So I think when I have the movie, I'm going to watch some of it in slow motion to really like take it in. It's amazing.
Well, this is why I think the rewatchability of this movie is why people are going back 4 or 5 times. By the way, that chessboard, when he hits it, apparently it starts right where that game left off in the first movie in Star Wars: A New Hope. Like that's the same exact game. Also, you see the training droid at one point that Luke was training with in the Millennium Falcon. Like she throws it away. Like there's tons of great Easter eggs in the movie, and I think it's part of the reason why everyone's going back to see it again to pick it apart. Now, what about Kylo Ren? Did you like him compared to Vader? What's your take?
Yeah, I guess it was nice to see a more human aspect to the villain in the story, because I don't think that Vader was very humanized.
He's like Vader in training, maybe, or like he's still on his way there.
He was a little more like pussy powder puffs, like the people you see nowadays.
He's a little bit of a whiny bitch, I guess.
Yeah, it was more conducive to what we see nowadays in society, right? A little more
Yeah.
relatable, I guess.
That's true. Okay, so what about Ray? Who's Ray's parents? Where did she come from? What's the deal with her?
Well, that's what I didn't want to spoil, because I don't want to tell you guys the genealogy that I believe is there, because I think I'm right.
No,
Yeah, but that's
we
conjecture. They said they
fucking-
throw those out.
Yeah.
So I would not be worried about
You
giving it
spill
away.
the beans because whatever
Well-
you're going to reference is not canon, but it may. But I'm kind of curious to know where you're getting at.
In the Timothy Vaughn story, which is the one that most Star Wars fans really stay true to, it's kind of like the core of it all. The twins are Leia and Han Solo's. So it would be her and the villain of the story.
But there's about 10 years difference between them there.
You think so?
Yeah, no. From what I read, he's like 30 and she's like 19.
From what you read.
Well, from what the age is speculating, kind of thing. I don't think they're the same
Yeah,
age.
that's just it, is speculating.
But
So
I don't think they're the same age. I think Rey is a Kenobi. And that's why she was able to do that Jedi mind trick that we've only seen Ben Kenobi do. Like no,
That's
one else has done
interesting.
that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Did you feel that she was a little overpowered or that she learned all that shit a little bit quickly? Like,
Way too fast.
yeah, she was wielding that lightsaber like she did.
Yeah.
I'm like, that. Listen to me, the Jedi mind trick of like, you're gonna let me go. That's like the highest fucking force power that takes years of training to get to. And she pulls that shit with. That dude was Daniel Craig, by the way. Did you know that in the Stormtrooper outfit?
Oh, really?
That was yeah. There's tons of great.
When she was
cameos.
when she was actually getting released from the restraints.
The Stormtrooper.
So in that scene,
Yeah.
it was unrealistic because when she did that with him, okay, so she used the mind trick. It didn't really work the first time. She did it the second time. It worked. And then she kind of breaks concentration and says, drop the gun too, like unfocused. And he does it. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like she was not focused at all.
yeah, it was just a little. There were some conveniences and contrivances, but overall, a great true sequel to the original trilogy. I think this movie is, and I'm excited for what it's set up for the future because Star Wars is never going away. We have 5 more movies next 5 years, and I'm sure it's going to keep going.
Rug
This
Boy's
shit is
yawning.
here for Rug Boy. You doing all right there?
I'm getting sleepy. I'm not gonna lie. Not because you guys are boring, because you're not. It's interesting. I'm
Rug
just
Boy's
really
a tired little felty. Yeah, no, all right, that's cool.
Great eye candy.
In who Rug Boy? Yeah, he is good eye candy.
Yeah, oh yeah, sweet eye candy. But yeah, I meant the movie and Rug Boy.
Yeah, no, visually, I mean, like
But
the way it was
Rug Boy.
shot, it was great. Like great effects,
Yeah.
great cinematography. Maybe a little too much comedy. It's the most comedy we've had in a Star Wars movie. I felt like it was almost slapsticky.
Yeah, and the comedy that we would normally see from Han Solo wasn't quite there.
No, and they kind of like, I feel like they just assigned other random characters like personas. Like
Mhm.
Finn was kind of Han Solo, Poe is kind of Han Solo, Rey is kind of Luke, but Rey is also kind of Han Solo. Like they just like mixed them up and
Everybody's Han Solo.
then everybody's fucking Han Solo.
Ben Solo's Han Solo's son. Everybody's
Even Han Solo
needs
was
more
like
Han Solo.
Needs more Han.
Even me, I'm Han Solo as well.
We are all Han Solo. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's a good sequel.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Did you think, if you can remember, the last scene where she's standing at the top of the mountain?
Yes.
Do you guys think that looked too much like Lord of the Rings, or was it just me?
I think just I mean, they probably shot it on the same fucking island they shot Lord of the Rings. But I heard that there's some like the planet is like a planet that is an actual planet that's mostly water, and there's just a couple of islands. Like that's the planet he's on. But
Gotcha.
it did have a
It
little
was
bit
the
of
way they panned it. They did like the whole like around the mountain rock thing, and I was like, wait, I've seen this like 20 times in Lord of the Rings.
cool shot. Cool shot. I wish the movie kept going there instead of.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think that is deliberate. They did that shot because they're trying to. I think that this movie was fan service in every single way,
Yeah.
and you got to bring it. And I said this 1,000 times. We've seen this shit 1,000 times. We've seen Death Stars. We've seen X-Wing fighters. We've seen the same bullshit all the time. We need new shit. So maybe that the next movie is going to be newer and differenter.
But Angel, really? A third fucking Death Star without railings and also a fucking vulnerable? Like, did they not learn who is in charge of these plans? How about you try a different shape at least? Does not make a circle. What are you doing?
But that might have had fans disagreeing, though.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was a lot of nostalgia, a lot of callbacks, but I still feel it was handled more tastefully. It could have been handled a lot less tastefully and more in your face. You know, like the reveal of the Millennium Falcon, I thought was well done because I didn't see that coming.
Oh, that was awesome.
And I was like, oh shit. But then just coincidentally, fucking Han Solo happens to be right there where they come out of hyperspace to get him. Like, really? And he's you're still smuggling, you old ass Han Solo. Like, how about the progression in the characters?
Yeah, that was
Solo in the same spot. I wish I love General Leia. It was awesome. And maybe he should have been like a captain or another general. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But I think they were trying to keep his personification of the rebel, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I think women were attracted to back in the day.
He still got it. Look, I believe they're planning on doing another Indiana Jones movie, and Spielberg has said he will not cast anyone else but Han Solo or Harrison Ford. So we're gonna have another old ass indie movie, which I'll go see it. I love Indiana Jones. I don't give a shit.
What is he now? 70?
He's gotta be.
Yeah, he's 70 something.
He's gotta be. It's amazing.
Wow, eh? I kind of feel old though when I think of the actors that I see now that like they're really getting up there. I'm like, oh my God, like woo, that went by fast. That's gonna be us soon, guys. We're gonna be crippled and walking with
I'm already there.
I experience this at work every year. My coworkers seem to get younger and fucking younger every year. And I'm like, they don't understand any of my 80s pop culture references. I can't make a fucking joke. Goddamn millennials are ruining everything.
I relate. Yeah, I relate.
Hey, if anybody is watching and wants to jump in and share their thoughts, come on in. We're just hanging out.
You're still on the record, you know that, right?
Yeah, we're on the record. That's fine.
I'm on the record.
How's the network going there?
Good. Christmas has things pretty quiet, so I think that there's some people that haven't quite revved back up into the regular routine yet, including me. Yesterday and today was like my getting back into the mode of everything days. Holy Mac. I realized how much you can shelf playing GTA 5.
You want to plug your show real quick on the record?
Yeah, sure. I've got AHTV happening Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a show that's focused on people doing what they love. My whole mission is to try to get you guys doing more of that because let's face it, life isn't supposed to be so hard that we never get to do what we enjoy. So I teach people how to do that and be able to benefit from that. And then Wednesday at same night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm on Nerd World, which I really love.
I see their board up everywhere all the time. It's a good show. I'll have to check it out.
It's awesome. It really is. I mean, it's fast paced. There's 5 or 6 people that contribute for every show, and we all do our own little segments. Sometimes somebody's one segment will be like, oh my God, I can't even listen to this. It's so boring. And then you get on to the next one and it's really fast paced. And some shows from beginning to end, it's like boom, 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 fast paced. Like you actually want to start writing things down. There's so much great stuff coming at you.
What do they talk about?
Everything nerdy. So you guys could come on and talk about comic book stuff if you wanted to. You know, cars, if you're a car nerd, if you're a computer nerd. I usually talk about computer stuff. I'm on the show every week and I usually keep it either gaming or tech related. And then I'm starting a new tech blab as well. So I'm going to be doing tech instruction. I don't think I'm going to schedule a time for that though. I was going to do a time, but no, I'm just going to put the blabs out. Yeah.
Have you heard of this podcast Fan Appreciation Day next Wednesday on Blab? I put our link in the comments there. If you
I'll
subscribe. I guess Blab is running this, and they reached out, and I signed up for a time slot. So we'll be back on Wednesday, January 13th at like 8 p.m. Central Time But I love that they're organizing these kind of things. And then the following week we'll be back like every week with our weekly TV show because all the TV shows will start that week.
So we're gonna start reviewing.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to reviewing Arrow, Flash, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Legends of Tomorrow, whatever comes up. So I'm excited. I missed this. This is like the first one. The last one we did was the day before Star Wars was released. And Jordan Radford, who's one of our fans, she was waiting in line for 4 hours for Star Wars. And she would jump in and out, and she would come on the show and give us updates every so often while she was waiting in line for Star Wars. And I think we got her to, we entertained her for the 4 hours that she was in line.
I did it for 2 and I was not entertained.
That was a long show, and you can check that out on our YouTube and on our blab. So,
you guys, I have to say thank you because you got me watching Jessica Jones.
How good is that?
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. I'm still only like maybe 9 episodes in, but
wow, you really went in. Yeah, isn't that great?
I did. Yeah, I did. Well, I only ever watch one show at a time because I don't really watch TV. So when I feel like sitting down and watch a show, and then I just watch it till it's done and then I move on to something else. So in the last 2 weeks, I've probably watched TV 9 times. So I've probably watched 9 episodes of that. And it's so relatable for me. It's so nice to see a female character like that in a show. I've been waiting for something like that. I felt the closest to that before now was Felicity Smoke in The Arrow.
Yeah. No, she's like, what a great, flawed, real character. Like she's a piece of shit. But in the way that people can be a piece of shit sometimes. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. They're confused. They've been traumatized. And I think for people who have been through trauma or suffering from PTSD, you can really connect with this. And for it to be a superhero Marvel show, God, wow, was it dark? Was it just so deep?
Amazing. Yeah.
And they
I was a foster
Netflix.
kid, so I think that's why I related to her.
Oh, wow.
Just the story of like,
you are Jessica Jones.
yeah, that's what, like when I watched it, I was like, man, mind you, I can't drink like that.
Oh my God.
I'm done.
I think her superhero metabolism also might help. Like, I think she could drink a lot because she just like, it just burns through her. Listen, watch that, watch Daredevil, and then watch Making a Murderer on Netflix. Those are all awesome Netflix things.
Writing it down.
But yeah, Jessica Jones is probably like one of the top-notch Marvel studio productions out there, I think. And then we also we reviewed the show on our podcast, so we have a whole show where we talk about. I'm
happy that she stuck to it and she got turned on to it because, like, you never know if they're actually people who don't watch comic book shows normally are going to gravitate towards it, and it seems like it's a pretty winning combo.
A lot of people went into this a lot of people went into this not even knowing necessarily that it was going to be a superhero show. They didn't know anything, and I think that really helped. I think it's a great introduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe for casual viewers, and then you can go and explore and find other things you want. But it's a show about trauma that just happens to have superheroes in it. That's it.
Yeah, and it's just so real,
Yeah. So that dude, Luke Cage from the series,
the guy she's sleeping with.
Yeah, he's gonna have a show next, a full series called Luke Cage Power Man. He is a superhero called Power Man, obviously because he has unbreakable skin. And then there'll be another one called Iron Fist, and then there's gonna be another one that has Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Power Man, and Iron Fist all in one series called The Defenders.
I might not go that far,
dude. It's awesome.
I think Jessica Jones is probably more her speed than the other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of this stuff is really good, though. I have to say, like I've watched a lot of these shows for the sake of hanging out with friends or family because they've really enjoyed it. Like my son loves this stuff, and he got his sister into it, so my kids just go crazy for it. So I watch a lot of it, and there's been some characters that have really turned me on to the series. Like I was saying, Felicity Smoke. If it weren't for her, I probably wouldn't have loved The Arrow, but I loved that show. So I think some of the sci-fi shows are really benefiting from the comic book world because when I watched Fringe, which is one of my favorite sci-fi shows.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah.
I felt that it had comic book show influence in it.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. So I think that the comic book shows are really influencing the other shows that I really enjoy. So I really support them and I watch them whenever I can, no matter what.
So you watch Arrow and you like Arrow, right?
Yeah. And Flash.
You've been watching this season?
No.
Arrow? Oh, yeah.
I watched up to the end of season 5, I think.
Okay. So then you'll catch up once, since you don't have a TV, you got to wait.
Yeah, I have to wait till it's on Netflix, right? So it's all like,
yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I watched Jessica Jones because you guys said you were having that podcast or whatever coming up, and I wanted to be a part of that. And then I missed it when it actually came up, so I watched it so I could come on and talk with you guys about it.
We didn't even do that one on Blab. We just kind of talk about it casually, like that one we just did on the podcast. But I think we're going to do more. Gotcha. Maybe we do more full podcast on the Blab. Did you see President of UFC Dana White had a Blab earlier today?
Wow,
which was pretty big for Blab. I was like, holy shit! Like once these like kind of big names start coming on, like it's gonna be a huge push.
When's it not gonna be a beta anymore?
Yeah, what's this? Can anyone from Blab tell us why?
Are we gonna have to pay or something?
No, I mean, that's an interesting question. It still says beta, and like they put this new map thing in here, which is kind of cool. You could see where everyone is on the map, and I don't know, there's a couple of other additions, but the beta does kind of concern me why it still says beta. And what is their monetization strategy, or even is there one?
It's sad because the numbers are going down, not up. And,
Really?
There's, and like if you guys watch Nerd World, John Preto has a stake in Blab. I don't know exactly what it is, but he's very invested in what's going on in Blab, and he's been recording the numbers and the statistics and reporting them to us every week on Nerd World. Some weeks we don't get to because we run out of time, but it's very interesting watching because there has been a steady decline, and I feel like these people like us that are really relying on Blab or that enjoy Blab need to find a way to make this community work. We need to find a way to get it out there, because I don't know if the Blab team just needs some help, or if this is just a platform that's hard to grow, or I really don't know, but
it needs to be advertised. No one even knows it's here. No one knows what it does. It's just simple marketing.
Now, where do you spend this marketing dollars, though? That's the thing. It's like, what's effective? I do agree. Like, not a lot of people know Blab, but I casually try to mention it to people. I think the live aspect of things, from my podcasting research, they always say, you can do it live. Your live audience is obviously going to be a lot smaller than, your download audience that lives forever. So it's like it's got to take over appointment television or something. It's got to come in the forefront. I think Dana White coming on is a step in the right direction, because we need some progressive celebrities to be like, look, I'm going to come on here. You guys can ask me anything. This is me. And it's interactive. Again, how old is Blab? Do you know, when did it actually start? Is it even like 2 years, a year?
No, not even a year, because I think the longest person I've seen on Blab is hitting maybe 200 days. I could be wrong.
So this is the beginning growth incline. It's still in its its growing stage, in its maturity stage. And things like these tend to take time. And
they need to be fed right.
Yeah, and promoted properly, but that's getting people to be at a certain place at a certain time, and then trying to be consistent with the same hour every week is also important. But shit happens, so we're gonna try to run our shows on Fridays at the same time during the next 3 months and see what happens.
I think if they changed it to 6 tiles, it would make a huge difference.
Yeah, you know what? I listened to another podcast where one of the Blab guys, the developers, came on, and he's like, baby steps. These are kind of things we're working on. They're working on a way to put a YouTube video or an image right in that empty box. They're also thinking
it's already there. I've seen it.
Oh, really? Yeah. He said he rolled it. It's been rolled out to a few people, and they were trying it. And then they said they also were thinking about maybe the top box is 16:9 and it's combined into one frame, and then there's 2 on the bottom. Or I think the 4 is okay though, Ruggs, because if you go to like a Google Hangout and you get to 10 people, it gets really messy. And
no, but I don't say 10. I'd say 6.
6? You think 2 more would? Where would it go? People are already, they don't like the square aspect ratio because they're running like crazy live stream production studios that's 16:9, and they got all these.
Yeah, exactly. So if you bisect all of these, you could fit 6 in the same spot.
I would prefer 16:9. That would be
Wide,
nice.
everybody would be widescreen.
Everybody wants the widescreen, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean,
They're
I'm
working
excited
on
for
it now because,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you there.
No, it's fine.
Yesterday, there was some resizing happening. They were working on something and they had to reset because it didn't work. So they're already fooling around with stuff.
Yeah, he said he pretty much said baby steps. He's like, we tinker with one little thing, and then we add that, and then we add on top of that, we tinker with one thing. So it's gonna take time, and I think as more of these things roll out, it'll attract more people. I would love to be able to put an image in there. So like we're talking about something, I want to pop the image in there. We're talking about a movie trailer, I want to pop the trailer in there. That already that makes it cool.
And it was cool watching it because I was actually in a blab with one of the developers, and I didn't know I was in a blab with the developer at the time.
Oh boy!
And then all of a sudden, he was playing a YouTube video on the empty screen, and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing that? Are you logged in on another computer?" He's like, "No, this is something we're rolling out right now." This was like almost a month ago.
Oh
So
wow!
it hasn't ago. Like, yeah. So
That's
I'm
exciting.
like, come on, I'm frothing at the mouth. I'm like, let us have it.
Bring it on, blab guys. More bells and whistles. We want it because I like I've experimented with the Manycam a little bit, but it tends to like freeze up my computer.
Everything out.
Yeah, it's too much.
Use
no, it's
use
too much
XSplit.
processing. XSplit
No,
is
use
better?
XSplit. Oh yeah,
Okay,
XSplit
okay.
is awesome.
Okay.
Manycam kept crashing, and I had to reinstall it. And then it got so bad that I thought, okay, I'm not buying this software. I'm going to admit on video right now, I wanted to see if I could use a version of it that would not crash before I bought it. So I used a crack version, and it still crashed. I was like, I'm not buying this software. This is retarded. XSplit is free. You don't have to worry about buying it unless you want to do multi-stream. Like if you want to
like
go
annoying
to
ads on it.
No.
Does it put a watermark on there if in the free version?
No.
Okay, good.
And the great thing is, the only thing I don't like is it takes 10 seconds when you first log in. It makes you wait for 10 seconds for some reason, which is, and if you're not used to using it, you have to remember to load it before you get into Blab. But it's great because I can do like all these, like, I've got here.
Oh, that's fun. Wait, so are you running XSplit right now then?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so what was that? What were you showing me? You just had like a GIF there?
Yeah, so this is Colin. Colin Hill. He's
been on here, or he's been in the room a couple of times on some of our shows, I think.
He's one of the two creators of the Best of Blab as well. And he actually helps John with a lot of the stuff that I was talking about, like running numbers and stuff. And him and John Preto are the two that created Nerd World, the show that I'm on every Wednesday night. And you guys haven't seen my avatar and stuff yet, have you?
No.
Oh, well, I'm going to come back in. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, see her avatar, and then I think we're done. Pretty much.
Yeah, I gotta go soon.
Yeah, we all got shit to do, but it was a good show. We got caught up on some news. I'll put it in the podcast feed, and we'll have a new show.
I'm going crazy.
You guys, this is the Jock and Nerd podcast. We'll be back next Wednesday for Podcast Fan Appreciation Day. I put a link in the comments there. Be sure to subscribe. And then the following week, we'll be back on Friday and possibly every Friday while the TV shows are in season. For this is the reason for the season. And then maybe I want to do more shows on the Blab. It's lots of fun. I love that we got Bilotti on Blab. That was great. Nice. Ruggs is having a
far.
Near?
Far.
You did it opposite. Fucking
that's
Grover.
how I think. I'm thinking opposite.
You're so floppy, Ruggs.
Near. Far.
Remember Super Grover? I loved when he became Super Grover and he would just fly into things and he didn't know how to fly.
I need to get a pair of sneakers.
Oh, sneakers and those sandals. I think you could fit shoes right over that.
Yeah, I gotta get sneakers.
Squeeze your feet into a glass slipper like Cinderella, Ruggs.
Or a mango.
Man, you like the mango? Mango?
I will wear a mango.
You put mango on your feet?
Put mango on my face.
It's good for the skin.
I'm so tired, Imran.
Oh, Ruggs. I'm sorry. Look, if she doesn't come back in a little while, we're just going to fucking end it because Ruggs I got a tired felty on my hands. Look at the bags under his eyes.
I'm so tired.
He needs his beauty sleep.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to end the show here and then she can come back later. Thanks for watching. I'm going to stop the record. That means if you're watching the replay or you're on YouTube, we'll see you next time. Follow Rug Boy. @ReallyRugBoy.
Thank you.
Why not, right?
I'm going to start real quick. This is Angel Hill. We're jumping back into the record because Angel has brought us an amazing avatar program off of Steam, and she's been showing it off, and this may be something
It's a burger with blue lettuce. It's really crazy.
It's really creepy.
It's blue. It's so funny.
Wait, go back.
Because I have the chroma key turned on. Let me just turn the chroma key off.
Go back to the gothic one.
All right.
The sci-fi one. That one's awesome.
All right. It's clicking on the wrong program.
Viewer, check this out. This is like somebody should make a Rug Boy one of these. This is really cool. It's basically using mocap technology you see in movies, and Angel is controlling the eyes,
right?
the head. Oh,
I know, it's so cool. So I'll show the video in the background as I was doing before, so that you guys can see.
There's the mocap points, and now you can see that.
So as I'm talking, the avatar is talking.
Holy fuck balls!
Whoa!
Wow.
That's amazing. Irish Tara says, "What is the program called?" It's Steam.
Base rig.
What can you explain? I kind of know what Steam is. Can you explain what Steam is and how this works? On top of that, this program's called.
When you go in the shower and it's hot. Sometimes this stuff floats in the air. It looks like clouds, but it's not clouds. It's called steam, Imran.
Shit, I always thought somebody was smoking a joint on the other side of the.
No, it's not smoke.
It's not
It's
fucking smoke.
vapor.
I've been inhaling that, and it's not been giving me a buzz. And I was like, "This is weak ass smoke you got here."
All right, can I explain Steam?
You explain Steam, and then Angel will explain this program.
Steam is a online gaming thing. So you log into Steam, you play your video games on Steam, and they have apps and software that are available for download. Correct?
Is this on computers or a console? What is this on?
Yes,
this is on PC. So this is for Windows. There may be something that's available for Mac. I really don't know. So I apologize for that. But
dragon.
I know.
Okay,
right?
so how does this face rig? It's built on the Steam platform.
So FaceRig is made by the makers of FaceRig. So Steam doesn't actually make the games. They are a company that fosters the sales and promotion of the games. So you use their client to purchase and store your games. So you don't have to buy CDs, DVDs. You can now just have them from there, download them, install them, and they're forever linked to your account.
So it's like a Netflix for games.
Yes, and it's a great community. I add people to my Steam network. If you guys want to add me, you can find me under there. Just find Angel Hill TV, message me. I'll give you links if you want to find it from there. And it's great because when you have games in common with people, you can actually play in common games. So,
wow, nice.
Yeah. And their software is great. They have stuff on there now like Cakewalk and music editing software and video editing software and
its own ecosystem. So Facebook runs on Steam.
Right. So that's where you buy it, is through Steam.
So how long did it take for you to set up the mocap dots? What's the setup like?
Nothing. I didn't have to do anything to set up the dots except click the calibrate button. But it was a little bit of a learning curve, just figuring out what order I needed to have everything loaded. So that's why you guys want to watch the blab that I put together. It'll show you, just so you're not wasting your time like I did. It'll kind of save you. It's 30 minutes, right? So
it's like, what is this, Shrek? What the fuck is going on?
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
Wow, this is cool.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Oh, that was good accent.
I wonder if the face wig would work with me.
Can you buy avatars? Probably. Are these all loaded, or can you buy more?
So I bought them all. I have all the extras. You might not get this one when you buy it. I spent about $40 altogether to get all of the Christmas and the Halloween and the I just wanted the whole kit and caboodle. I plan to try to make money with this. So,
Angel, your friend Lindsay just put a link to that blab. You're
awesome, Lindsay. Thanks, you.
Lindsay. That's awesome. You guys
check it out.
Look at this guy. This guy's awesome.
So now, wait, which guy? What are you talking about? Now,
what's up, Mike?
Right there. This is this is very educational, everyone. Now, not only we know how to make it, you got a link to a tutorial by Angel to figure out how to set it up. Oh, look at the little penguin. It's so cute.
Hey, listen, Angel, thanks for coming on and showing us this. I gotta go.
Good night.
But you can keep talking to Imran. I gotta go because if I don't, I'm going to pass out.
All right,
It's nice to see you.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna finish the recording again. So once again, Jock and Nerd Podcast. Visit jockandnerd.com. Follow Rugboy at Really Rugboy. Thanks for watching.